I don't know if it's a dance hall or just whatever alerts. I don't know what y'all doing, but get hip. It's time. Tuck in your seats. You know what I'm saying? If you got a seatbelt in your seat in the house, that's wild, but tuck it in, still click it. You know what I'm saying? Lock in with us. No Cooldown's back, baby. We are back in the building. It's episode 95. Another beautiful day to be alive. And we're here, man. We're here. For those who might not know, I'm back from vacation. I'm back from my sabbatical. Not the damn sexcapades that this man Wen was talking about. All right. It was a wholesome vacation away, you know what I'm saying, to the nice island of Inglaterra. Okay, the weather wasn't always nice, but it's fine. We're back in the building. We're here. I am here with my podcast partner in crime, the master of the takeovers, which is very hilarious. How about I say, man was running shit. Man was ready to have me laughing. I'm about to say, when he's in the building, bro. How's you doing, fam?
Can't complain. Another day above water, so to speak.
I hear it, man. And again, first, before even getting further, I just want to say thank you for doing the takeover. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for holding down the fort while I was away. You know what I'm saying? Resting and recouping and stuff ahead of all this showcase E3 season, formerly E3 season, whatever you want to call it, bro. So first and foremost, thank you, good sir.
Oh, no problem. I actually had a lot of fun doing it. It was actually a really good time.
Bro, that shit was hilarious. I can't even front. I was actually dying. I look back on some of the notes that you put for like some of the like just like what your general thoughts were, and I was like, bro, he's really about to get real negative like this shit. Oh, it was a good time, man. And if y'all haven't seen the When Easy Takeover episode, make sure you check it out. It's on YouTube exclusively, youtube.com/@NoCooldown to go check out all that was going on. Again, like the highlight piece was talking about the Yasuke stuff. I missed it, but again, really good piece there that you guys should definitely check out in the episode. A lot of great stories in there, a lot of great jokes in there, a lot of great presentation. You don't want to, you know what I'm saying, fall behind on that. And as well, make sure you're supporting us on all platforms, especially the audio podcast platforms, all the Spotify's, Apple Music, and all that stuff like that. No Cooldown Podcast will be right there. Rate us 5 stars, please, people, please. We need that 5-star rating. The more 5-star ratings we get, the more we getting pushed, the more closer we're gonna get to our goal of wearing jeans and blazers into the Game Awards and every major convention and every major showcase that's out there. So if you want to see us in blazers and jean jacket combos, interviewing people down, serving looks better than anybody else can, gotta rate us 5 stars, man. Rate us 5 stars. Check us out on YouTube's all over as well. No Cooldown Podcast on all platforms. No Cooldown Pod on Twitter. Forgot I need to fucking change that. My bad. But we'll get to it. But we have a lot of stuff to cover today. Some catch up, some quick bites, some stuff from the trailer trove, and a couple regular stories to round us out. When are you ready?
Born ready.
And let's get to it, man. Let's start with the granddaddy of them all for this week. The surprised announcement, the typical surprised announcement. We figured it might show up at the end of May. Of course it did while I was on vacation, but the PlayStation State of Play was revealed. It was here, and it did show off, you know, a few games that were in the slate for this year, what might be down the pipeline, and yeah, what's around for Sony and this I guess this year, this little range that they have until next year when some of the heavy hitters are back. So we can go through some of what we saw here, and let's start off with Concord. Let's start with Concord. That is a brand new hero shooter that's coming from their side. First party title. We got their first reveal trailer. It's going to be dropping on August 23rd. A lot of interesting gameplay and CGI, just elements just to give us a bit of a sense of what the world was, how you're going to be playing, some of the mechanics. You've seen some of the rolling, the custom hero elements, some of the I guess placeable tactical I guess insertions or skills that you can put on the map. Interesting stuff. There's what we think, and then there's the reception as well. But first, let's just get to the raw reactions. What did you think of Concord?
At first I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Diverse cast of characters, look really interesting. I saw them shooting at each other, and in the back of my mind was like, is this gonna be a hero shooter? And I'm like, nah. Let's just let it rock. And it's a hero shooter, so it's exactly what it is. My initial thoughts were, no. We have so many of these. We have way too many of these. Like X-Defiant just dropped. After X-Defiant, I was like, okay, this has to be the last one, please. Like, we cannot have another one. And then there's another one. But when I started watching the gameplay, I will say it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Destiny. which is not a bad thing. I like the Destiny PvP. I do think it's interesting. It does look kind of fun, but it is a hero shooter, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be free to play, and I'm pretty sure it's the whole shebang. You know, to get money on cosmetics, yada yada. I thought it was cool, and I think it's a cool game, but I think it's one of those games that were just a little too late. You know, like it's a really cool concept, cool game, but we already have so many of these that the market is already saturated. So it's quite unfortunate they were just too slow to the gold rush. But I think this game has potential. I think it'll probably be a really tight shooter, but I'm not looking forward to this.
Yeah, and this kind of couples right in with the discourse that we've seen over the past few days since the state of play has gone down. Everybody's tired of hero shooters, and I am too. I am so tired of hero shooters, guys. I can't. I am honestly at capacity when it comes beyond capacity when it comes to hero shooters. It's starting to leave again the sour taste in the minds and perceptions of people when they hear it, because it's being spammed so much in many different regards. I mean, I don't think it's on the notes today, but a Star Wars bounty hunters or whatever, Star Wars bounty something, I forget. It's a mobile hero shooter. That one dropped, and there's like this one and that one. Like there's been a huge influx over the past few years, over the past like 2 or 3 specifically, and this. It already creates a bad taste in your mouth, but with Sony's level of, I'm gonna be very frank here, and I think it's desperation to get a multiplayer first party hit that has some staying power. They're gonna get ran into this area anyways, in my opinion. I figured it was going to kind of end up in this type of area, but before I get back to that, I will say on the straight gameplay itself, looks fairly interesting. Again, I liked the world, like some of the dynamism. I love the characters and some of the CGI stuff. It looked pretty fun. Looked like an engaging cast of characters. Looked all fairly unique. Had their own distinct look, feel, skills. I don't know why. A piece of it, maybe it was the font. Maybe it was kind of some of the I guess the rolling mechanics or some some aspect about it visually. I don't know why it reminded me of Paragon just a slight bit. I don't know why it did. You know what I mean? I don't know why exactly. I mean, literally, cause it's a hero system as well.
Like the art, I want to say.
Yeah,
like
the art style just it just aesthetically it feels kind of like Paragon-ish in the look. You know what I mean? In the aesthetic. Yeah. So I was like, oh, it's kind of interesting, but. Outside of that, the gameplay looked pretty interesting. Again, I liked the diversity of some of these builds and how some of the pieces that you kind of drop on the map, like some girl had like the bubble gum in like a I guess like a launcher or whatever. She could put some little fire things on the map, block out lanes. Again, some of these like the rushers, I forget what that dude's name from Paragon is, but the one heavy that kind of does a little rush attack and can like do melee attacks with a shotgun looks pretty cool as well. It's an interesting concept. It's just unfortunate that they've landed in a very saturated and now uninteresting genre, or subgenre. It's just kind of, I guess right place, wrong time, or maybe wrong place, wrong time, depending on who you ask. But I think of course, I feel like they're going to get some level of traction since it's going to be heavily promoted by Sony. The beta, I think it said it was coming in June or July. So it'll be interesting. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, were certain Sony devs or certain previous Bungie devs a part of this new team at Firewalk, or am I mistaken?
I don't know.
I feel like I might have heard something about some former Bungie devs joining the team for Firewalk and kind of putting their stamp on things, which it looks and feels kind of Destiny-ish. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of a small twinge of it feels a little Destiny-ish. You know what I mean? Maybe with some of the verticality with some of the players or some of the characters and heroes that you're going to be taking on, but the concept looks really interesting. I like the free gunner thing and going on heists and missions and stuff like that. I like the premise of it and what it sets up. It's just, can you do enough to stand out in a hero shooter market that's heavily competitive right now? And it's hard to say yes you can for anything, honestly, in my opinion. So Concord's gonna have a tough time. Concord, in my opinion, will have a tough time to come out the gates, but I think there is potential there to be a decent game, and Sony's going to try and will it into existence because they know they need a multiplayer game that can really withstand the test of time and get them where they need to be. You know, they're missing that multiplayer game of old, like a Killzone or something like that, like a SOCOM. They're missing those heavy hitters in the multiplayer space specifically for their first party. We know that's there. That's one of their weak points. One of the points that they want to try and mitigate and fix over time. So with Concord, it's just they have an uphill battle. My final word is they have an uphill battle to fight. But interesting concept. I liked what I saw. I just know they're coming into an environment where a lot of people have already seen too much of this general direction.
Yeah, I'm not really looking to like. I think it's gonna be cool, and I think it'll be cool if it gets picked up on the PC space. But I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, we'll see. Moving on, we had the announcement that God of War Ragnarok will be coming to PC on September 19th. Again, which you would assume with all the fixings of PC upgrades and some of the graphical fidelity that you get with, you know what I'm saying, the best machines on the market. We saw a little hint though that the PSN will be required. A PSN account will be required, which that's becoming a more recurring theme, and we'll talk about more. We'll talk about it more on another story down the line in this episode about, you know, PlayStation's intentions with PC. But it seems that, yeah, God of War Ragnarok on the PC in the fall. How do you feel about it?
I already beat this game. Like, you guys have fun though. Like, I think it's gonna look sick on PC, that's for sure. But I beat this game. I damn near beat this game twice. But Valhalla DLC, you guys are gonna be in for a good ride.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, you guys are gonna be great. I still have to play the Valhalla DLC, which I will be doing for you know, things down the line that will be happening soon. But I already played most of the game. I already damn near 100% in most of this game. This is not for me. This is for the people who are waiting on PC. This is for the PC loyalists. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all. It's cool, nice, love it. Perfect. Another one on the scoreboard for us. You know what I mean? Solid stuff. The PSN requirements though, I'm always a little bit wary of. I don't know what. We talked about this on a previous episode. I think you should check episode 94 that we did, where we were talking about, you know, I think it was Ghost Tsushima, and then another game after Helldivers had that requirement. It was something else, another single player game that was starting to push that requirement. And I don't know what Sony has planned. I don't know if it's just for the marketing and just for the raw numbers of they want to see how much their player base on PC is, or just add it into the PSN bases in general. But yeah, just for a purely single player game like Ragnarok, I don't know where it's gonna go.
Yeah, I don't think it's not. It's very much, we want numbers to show investors. We want to be able to show people like, hey, we're doing great, so that the investors are happy. These are all the people in our ecosystem who are tapped into our ecosystem. I don't think they understand that, like I think I was having this conversation with somebody, because they were like, they're pushing out a lot of consumers, because there are a lot of people in countries that cannot have a PSN account who would love to buy this game, but they can't buy this game because PlayStation is just not in those countries. But the thing is that I genuinely think the higher ups who make these decisions, who are making these things a requirement, are not thinking of the consumer's money. They're thinking of the investor's money. They're thinking of like, if I can impress this one guy, he will give me 300 million or whatever the fuck absurd amount of money for my company, as opposed to organically making that money. Like, in their eyes, I'd rather screw over a lot of people than work hard and get those people in the ecosystem, because I know that if I get enough people in PSN, I can get investors to put money into our shit, or get people to buy stocks. Like, I understand their mentality. I think it's wrong. I think it's fucked up to not include these countries. It would be super easy. But for those people in those countries who can't play those games, I've never seen a more reasonable reason to throw on that One Piece hat and get a Kraken. Because the fact that these games are on PC, I'm sure there's somebody's already figured out a way of bypassing that shit. I'm not saying that's what you should be doing. I'm not advocating for one piecing, but
Monkey D movie.
That option is there for those who are unaware.
Listen, we'll see about it. We'll see about it. But yeah, at bare minimum, God of War Ragnarok on the PC is a good thing. But yeah, with all the other extra stuff, we'll figure that out in time. But let's move on to a bit of a surprise something that was a bit unexpected in the outlay of the showcase, man. We got Dynasty Warriors Origins coming in 2025, man. A return to the Dynasty Warriors series. It has been a long time. I cannot remember the last Dynasty Warriors game that did drop. It felt like it's been like yeah, well,
Nine on the PS4. I know, because I was waiting on it.
Damn, he's ready for it. He's ready for it, man. How do you feel about Dynasty Warriors making a comeback in 2025?
So my one friend is a huge Dynasty Warrior fan, and I just want to make sure that there isn't a Dynasty Warriors Empires that I might have missed. But I remember waiting for Dynasty Warriors 9 when it released, and I remember my boy being like, "Oh, there is a Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires." Yes. So Dynasty Warriors 9 Empires, which dropped in 2021. I'm looking at it on Steam right now. Awful reviews, but that's what happened. That's what happened to Dynasty Warriors 9 regular, is that it was very, very, very badly optimized. It just did not work correctly. And I remember us being on the PlayStation being super hyped, because when I tell you I was obsessed with Dynasty Warriors 8 Empires, like that is my shit. I might go buy that shit today if I can find it for cheap. But those games are really, really fun. Dynasty Warrior Origins blew my mind. I was very happy for it. I think it looks really good, but of course it was one of those like not cinematic but low-key cinematic type of trailers. Like there's gameplay in there,
half and halves.
But there isn't. It's not full gameplay. I think this is really dope though. I want to see the Dynasty Warriors in this new generation with the new hardware. I think it's gonna be sick. I can't wait to see what Origins plays like. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it's not. I don't come to eat these words. I hope that the game ends up being really, really good. And then what I hope is that, and this may be another year or two down the line, I hope to see Dynasty Warriors Origins Empires, because that is what I'm looking for. But I think because it's a new character, I believe it's gonna be a lot of like elements of like building up your own dynasty. I think that may be where it goes. And honestly, these games are just a lot of like mindless fun. So I can't wait to tap in and just like destroy hordes of people with like 3 attacks.
Word. There's a good chance it could be like a custom character as well. I mean, I don't know if we got any like exact naming or whatever from the characters from any of like the articles that might have dropped in the time since this trailer, but it's a chance it could be created character. It's a good chance it could be, which is cool. I'm absolutely happy with that too. I would love to create my own character in this. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I was actually pleasantly surprised to see this. I think that there was a time where, again, Dynasty Warriors getting spammed like every damn year, and we're like, all right, bro, get the fuck out again. Come on, bro. Like, dog, we see you, dog. We see every spinoff. We see the Hyrule Warriors and stuff like that. And it had something to like 2022, like Fire Emblem Warriors and stuff, and Hyrule Warriors was like 2020 and shit. But the last mainline one that we've had was what 20?
I think it's 2021 would be safe to assume.
Yeah,
December
okay.
2nd.
Word. Okay. So yeah, it's like 2021. So it's been solid. It'll be a solid 4 years since that, which is a good amount of time. And again, with the jump in hardware that you're really gonna sit under and let pressure cook with this current generation, there's some good shit that can be had. I think that Dynasty Warriors are always like a cool litmus test of where technology of gaming has gone, just to see with how many people are on the map, how many flashy attacks and effects, the environment, the atmospherics. I think there's always a cool demonstration of what what we really can put forth in terms of game stuff. So that's dope. It's dope. All I'm saying is, Lubu, beware. Lubu, beware. That's it. Guys, be careful. That's all I'm saying. Lubu's on your ass at some point. He's gonna be there, and you need to be careful. Man is the absolute terrorist. But I'm very much happy to see that one. Happy to see that one come through. Next up, we had a game called Infinity Nikki. I was slightly confused at this game. Can you make sense of this? Because I was confused.
Genshin has made too much money. That's the sense I've made of this. Genshin has made too much money, and everybody else is very upset about it. Shout outs to PlayStation Genshin. It looks better in my opinion than Genshin in terms of like graphics, but like I don't know, man. It'll be cool for the cozy streamers. I'm excited for them. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna pass on this one, but you know what? You guys will be all right. You guys got this. It looks decent. You guys will be okay.
But next up, we had another I guess first time reveal for this game. It's called Ballad of Antara, or Ballad of Antara. I'm about to say fantasy action RPG. Apparently it's dropping in 2025 on PS5 exclusively. Looks really cool with the environments, a lot of the massive monster battles, and some of the scale here. When would you make of Ballad of Antara?
This game was really sick. I'm really upset that like my stream was choppy while I was watching this. Pro tip: don't use Firefox to watch these events. They get overloaded.
Mozilla. Mozilla.
Use Chrome. I've learned the hard way. Like it just was like cutting in and out. But I was watching. I was really excited for this trailer. I just wasn't able to post a fucking reaction because I had to stop watching it halfway through. But it looked really cool. The Souls games have made too much money. That's another
yeah,
thing.
They made too much.
Have made too much money. So
Facts.
we got another Souls-like game. That's not necessarily a bad thing. The combat is still cool. It really depends on how they differentiate. But I will be very upset if I turn this game on and I die to something and they're like, you got to go collect your Antaras from the person that killed you, and I'm like, all right.
Dog, come on.
Like I have enough of these, but. Nah, it does look really cool. The environments are good. The graphics look amazing. I'm excited to see what this game turns into, but I want to I want to see somebody play it for 15 minutes before I can really make a decision on this.
Yeah. I need to see raw gameplay, and I'm curious as to see how the game pans out. It looks like there's several different classes. Like there was there was a swordsman. I saw there was like a mage. There was a archer. Very interested to see what comes with some of the different class play. If they're like specifically defined characters, or it's just create a character going your own, or you just have those defined brackets and those skill trees. Interested to see what it is, but yeah, just need the raw gameplay to see how it looks in context of what we're actually going to be getting. But looks cool. We can switch gears really quickly. Skydance's the VR games, Skydance Behemoth, Alien Rogue Incursion, PSVR 2 games that are coming soon. How do you feel about those VR stuffs?
Sure. Cool. I don't think VR can ever really be shown in one of these showcases and really blow me away, because if you don't show exactly what it looks like in the VR headset, people are gonna be really mad when they buy it and it doesn't, and they're not seeing the crazy cinematic trailer you set up. But when you do show it on like a stage like this, it looks clunky and weird. I think the Aliens is cool. I think that's like probably one of the best uses of this, but I'm very much not moved to buy a VR headset anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily incentivized for the VR stuff, so I didn't care too much, but I think Alien Rogue Incursion is a really smart use of the VR, really cool, interesting project. Behemoth I might not be too high on, but Alien Rogue Incursion actually is a very cool use of the AI stuff. So I mean AI VR stuff. So I think that's solid. Will it be interesting? Will I be getting in PSVR 2 anytime soon? Absolutely not. But I think it's cool. So solid shout out to y'all. Real quick, Marvel Rivals, their beta's coming to the consoles in July. Did you get into the beta in general? When at all?
I wish. No, I did not get into the beta at all.
I think it was hating.
And I was the first one. I feel like I was the moment that shit went up for registration. I remember being like eating breakfast and stopping eating breakfast to sign up, but no, I didn't get into it. Yeah, it looked cool though. I will say, like, Venom was like the Venom intro was hard. Like that was done really well. That was cool. I think if they continue like using that same amount of effort when they did Venom into when their new additions to the characters, I think their marketing is going to be really well done. But Venom looked cool, and I think it only just shows more of the game that people are really trying to get into. The beta looks dope. I'm interested to know if like everybody with a PlayStation could get into it, or is it just like another beta that they just announced? Like was this just a vehicle for them to announce another beta, or is PlayStation playing some bigger part in this? I'm
not sure. I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they might get console. I don't think they'll get console exclusivity. Maybe they're playing for it, or maybe just saying, hey, we're just the first people to try consoles. You know what I'm saying? We're the first people to have it on consoles. Yeah,
because all it says is just closed beta. It doesn't really say anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be one of those things where it's like, oh, we announced it first on this show, but it's coming everywhere once the beta actually drops in July. We just want to get the dibs on the first exclusive to get some extra cloud points.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like, hey, we just want to show shit off. Also, Adam Warlock, not even Venom, Adam Warlock was in it too, which looked cool.
Adam Warlock was dope. I like the look of that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, they need to let us into this damn beta, bro. Just let us in, bro. What the hell's going on? Facts. Ridiculousness. But let's switch gears and talk about Where Winds Meet. We got a brand new trailer for the Wuxia inspired open world action adventure RPG, and it's looking very, very packed with some dope stuff. How do you feel about it?
I think this game looks really dope, but I don't know what this game is gonna like. It looks kind of like Sifu is what it reminded me of. Like, I feel like it's gonna be like, that's the what I got from it was like Sifu in terms of like, you know how like when you're fighting the bosses, it's just a very much like a 1v1 kind of setting. Like, that's what it felt like. That's gonna be the biggest draw to this game is gonna be the 1v1 fights. Because I don't even know if they really showed a lot of like traversing the environment. If it just felt like 1v1s, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think it's gonna be like a cool boss rush mode type of game. But is the 1v1s enough to validate the price tag? I guess it really depends on what the price tag is going to be. But I am very excited to play this game because it looks really cool.
Since it's open world, I feel like I think they're showcasing stuff steadily, and I feel like we haven't seen any outlays of like, you know, where enemy mobs might be and stuff, and what the layout of the map is actually going to be with all these bosses scattered and sprinkled in between. You know, this kind of reminded me of, and again, don't hate me for saying this, but it reminded me a little bit of Kingdom Hearts and how they present their boss fights. Some of them are very, very flashy. Some of them have a lot of different, you know, themes to them and stuff like that. Depending, there was a whole, you know, and again, usually it's typically, you know, 1v1, or at least you have the party with you and stuff like that. But that guy, you're like this dock or whatever with the giant ass koi fish or giant ass fish that was jumping in the air trying to get you. Somebody had like a whole a bird contraption flying around the map. Like, some of these, the presentation and the flashiness of some of these combos and some of the attack patterns of the enemies and your response to them, dodging them, it reminded me of kind of like the speed and I guess the flash and aesthetic in the core of Kingdom Hearts a lot. You know what I'm saying? Again, slate me if I'm wrong in the comments. You can kill me if you want, but in some ways it reminded me of that kind of that level of movement and that level of presentation with the speed, with how the enemies are, you know, how your enemy bosses and stuff like that are presented, what their attack patterns are, how they're very, very specialized, and everything feels very much like braggadocious. Like, yo, I'm a boss. We about to put you through the ringer. You know what I mean? So I like the look of that. And yeah, this is one of those games where I was very, very excited for. Again, a couple of games that were coming from, China. What's it called? Where Winds Meet, and what's it called? Black Myth Wukong specifically were two of the games I was very, very, very excited for. Yeah, I'm just excited. I'm just excited for this. I need to see more gameplay just to kind of ground myself as I'm in the clouds thinking about what this game's gonna be like. Looks super dope. Looks action packed. I want to see more. Yes, Where Winds Meet, you still got my attention, buddy. You still got my attention. All right, we can slide through here and talk about Until Dawn getting a whole full-on remaster for PC and PS5 dropping fall 2024. Yay, nay,
Yeah, like, cool. I don't really. No, I'm good. Like, it's not even that I don't like the games. I'm just like, the game's dumb old. If you would have shown me a newer version or an Until Dawn 2, different conversation. But I think it's cool for people who haven't played it, because I haven't played it and I want to do a playthrough with my girlfriend because I think it would be fun. But I'm not paying the extra money for the remastered version. Like, I'm good.
Yeah, I understand that, and I'm in the same boat. I'm like, I played through it already. I literally played through it years ago. Like, when they had it free on PSN or stuff like that. I played through it. It's cool, fun game. Honestly, very interactive, very dope, great cast. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, wasn't Brenda's song on that one? Brenda's song and Remy Malik, they were on that one. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Mr. Robot and all that shit. Cool, great, good job for new players. It's not my target audience, but yeah, cool, good job. Let's move on to Path of Exile 2. Let's talk about the free-to-play ARPG that is on the way. It's in early access in fall 2024. When you got a little bit of experience with some of the ARPGs, got a couple looks in the back. How you feel about Path of Exile 2?
I am not excited. I know that these games are cool, and I played a little bit of them. I like them. I don't think it's a bad game. I'm just after Diablo 4, and I was pretty disappointed with that game. I was just like, I'm kind of all for this myself. I think Path of Exile 2 on the PS5 is a really smart move for them because Xbox now has Diablo. So like having Path of Exile is like, yo, we have our own action RPG that we're trying to push. It did look cool, and I think these games are a lot of fun. Like, don't get me wrong. I think I've just like, I don't want to say necessarily grown out of them, but I'm
just
kind
tuck it out for a little bit.
Yeah. I'm kind of just like, I don't know if I want to put that much time into these games because like, you look up a Path of Exile's skill tree. If you look at that image and tell me that shit doesn't look overwhelming, then I don't know what to tell you. Like if you look at that and you're like, oh, this looks cool as hell, then these games are for you.
Sweet
like, mother
of God. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
No.
It looks like circuitry. What the hell?
I'm good.
Hey yo,
I'm good.
Why they got 7 small buttons on the bottom of that one Nah, wait. This looked like something that the dude from League of Legends is making, Heimerdinger. This is something that he put down on a board and made something float. What's going on?
Yeah, no, my anxiety of like having optimal builds, and it's like I don't need to have an optimal build, but I'll be super damned if I go down the wrong rabbit hole after all those time spent on that. I'm sure you can respec maybe or whatever, but I'm just like, nah, I'm good off of that. I don't have enough time
respecking like 1,000 skill points. Hey, bro.
Yeah, I don't have enough time for that. I'm good.
Hey,
I'm good.
Yeah, that is
not for me.
That is highly insane, in my opinion. I would actually have, again, just information overload and just shut down. But again, for the sole fact that it is a free-to-play ARPG, again, in direct competition with Diablo, just something extra added on to have some real, fairly long-standing content, something that you can pour back into, grind away at, adds to their multiplayer, their multiplayer portfolio a little bit. PlayStation, that's a good move. That's a good move for them to have, early access and commit more to Path of Exile 2 in the fall. So that's good for them. Good for them. You know what I'm saying? Not my cup of tea with that crazy ass skill tree, but good move for them. All right, let's move on to one of the bigger drops from this state of play. We had a full breakdown of Silent Hill 2 remake. We got a release date trailer. We got a little bit afterwards, like a 13-minute set of gameplay just to look at how the game is coming along. When Silent Hill 2 is set to release October 8th, what's your thoughts?
I think it looks cool. I actually just saw a video about somebody like parodying what people were saying about the game, because they were like, this game looks clunky, and they were like, well, have you played the first Silent Hill 2? That game is stupid clunky. And they're like, okay, but like we're in 2024, and he's like, yeah, but if they're trying to make a remake of something that, like, if you want the real Silent Hills feel, you'd want a clunky game, you'd want XYZ. This game looks exactly like a remake of a PS2 game that is closer to, I don't even want to say a remake, it's more like this is what I feel like a remaster would look like. It's like we're trying to keep that core feeling of this game is just like, this game is a little hard to navigate, but that's the charm of it. And I think it's pretty dope. I have never played Silent Hills. I've only ever seen conversations about it. I've never watched like all the cutscenes or anything like that. But I think that this is going to be a really good remaster, because I think like one thing that gets like lost is like when you look at Resident Evil remake, like a Resident Evil 2 remake compared to like a Silent Hill 2 remake. When I played the Resident Evil 2 remake, it's a really good game. It's a really dope version of Resident Evil 2, but I owned Resident Evil 2 on the PS1. It is nothing like that remake. It is nothing like that remake at all. It is actually it's like, it feels like a puzzle game and more than a shooter. So it's really interesting to see a different approach to remaking a PS2 classic. I think this game looks really dope. I am excited to see somebody else play. I don't know if I'm going to get into the Silent Hill franchise, just because I think I want to play Silent Hill 1, but I don't know if they're related at all. I don't know if Silent Hill 2 has to do with what happens in Silent Hill 1.
I'm not sure.
Me neither. So I'm just like, I'm gonna let somebody else rock out, because if I want to play it, I want to do it the right way. I want to play the first one first and then the second one. But this game looks really good, and I think from my understanding, a lot of the fans are actually really excited about this, especially the people who've played it on when Silent Hill 2 dropped. So I can't wait to see. I know that it has secret endings and whatnot. I know about that. And I want to see what the general consensus is after this game releases. But so far, in my opinion, I think this is going to be a really interesting take on what a remaster should be or what a remake is. And I really want to see how it's received.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. And again, this is, funnily enough, one of the more cases I was fully acceptable with, because again, it's the funniest thing is this is going to be such a hard game to remaster, because again, like I'm pretty sure it took a while for them to either find or they never found the source code for Silent Hill 2 for the game itself. I swear there was a story about that. I can't remember off the top of my head. My mind's fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? I'm still jet lagged a little bit, but I think this game is a prime example and a prime case of what you should or try to remake or refurbish or bring back in a way, because there's been so much time since, you know, Silent Hill 2, the original. The Silent Hill franchise as a whole has been dormant for such a long time. So, you know, going back in that direction, I think is really viable. It's viable. This is a very, very, very viable and acceptable, you know, answer to the, you know, what should we remake question, for one, and two, it's such a beloved game. I'm just very curious to see how they're going to handle some of, like, you know, some of the themes, the more on the nose, the more harder to, you know, face and stomach themes that were in the original Silent Hill 2. You know, just some of those social topics that, you know, might be a little bit squirmish for some people. I hope they don't necessarily shy away, despite it being such a, you know, a big game, a heavily marketed game. I hope they really lean into some of those themes and bring that and present them in the way that was as close to, you know, the original version. And yeah, I'm just curious to see how it all plays out, man. I'm very curious to see how it all plays out. I want to give this a spin. I know I'm not the one for scary games as much as you, Wayne, but I definitely want to give this a spin too, because it looks interesting, and the Silent Hill games always intrigue me with the narrative and stuff, and how the plots and twists and turns and your decisions would implicitly affect what the outcome really was going to be, even though it didn't seem like it. Those little things that you might not have noticed ended up being, like, you know, its own decision tree in the end. So games like this that have very, very embedded and you know, compact systems that have a lot of cohesion with them, with the a choice that you make here at the bowling alley might affect how everything is perceived at the end, whether you make it out or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love that. I love these subtleties in the game that have so much wiring in the background, and it creates, you know, variations for people, and it creates a really, really cool experience in the end. So I'm curious to see how they kind of brush it up, what things they adjust, what paths they kind of change and look through, because from the trailer I think there was a couple of adjusted paths from a couple of people that were mentioning it on Twitter and stuff. So I'm curious. I think this is one where it's taking them some time to, you know, really get in their groove in terms of marketing it, but they might be in a really good place with it. So I'm curious to see how it does, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. October 8th. All right, let's take a step further, man. I don't even gotta say too much on this, bruh. Monster Hunter Wilds. When? Take it away.
This is by far what made this showcase for me. Everything else was pretty cool. This is what I needed. This is what I wanted. This is all that will ever be. I cannot, like, when I tell you I saw this and I just went and bought Monster Hunter Rise. I already own Monster Hunter Rise on my Switch. I bought it on my PC because my Switch is broken. I was like, I need to go back. I need to hunt. I cannot wait for this game. I'm gonna go over a couple of the details and just talk about them for a little bit. But real quick, fully voice acted character. Your base character, I believe, is gonna have full voice acting. I don't know how I feel about that, to be quite honest with you. I don't really care too much. I'm fine with him not speaking at all, but I want to see what they say, because if my character's annoying as fuck, I'm gonna be tight, but it doesn't matter. It looks cool. I wonder if I'm still gonna be able to choose my voice, like, you know, if I still have voice line options or whatever. But again, that's just, you know, a little bit of icing on the cake. All the weapons are coming back. We love to see it. They never really take weapons out, which is amazing. It actually, what I like about them is that they don't try to, like, overload the amount of weapons in the game. They just try to add on things to those weapons. And if there's a weapon that needs to be added in, I want to say Monster Hunter 4 was the one that added the insect glaive in. Yeah. I could be wrong about that, but like when they added that one weapon in, it was like, okay, cool, everybody jump on it. But then, like, they still made every other weapon relevant and added new stuff. The seamless flow from story to sequence is really dope. One thing I hated about Monster Hunter World, and this was my biggest pet peeve of Monster Hunter World, is that you would start a mission, you wouldn't be able to have your friends join the mission if you're doing the mission for the first time until after the cutscene of you seeing the monster, which was really annoying, because sometimes by the time they joined up, especially if you remember the PS4 days, I know my Monster Hunter World fans on the PS4, you knew how long it took for somebody to load into a fucking match. So by the time my boys would be in there, I would have already fainted like once already because the one dude one-shotted me. It was super annoying. I'm happy that they have this sequence. Hopefully that I don't have to worry about people being able to join me on those missions. As you can swap, yeah, the secondary weapon is going to be dope, especially because I think it's on your actual like horse bird thing. I don't know what the I don't know what the builds are going to be. I don't know what my loadout is, because me personally, I've always been giant hammer. I love running like the crossbow. Maybe I might start running the crossbow more because I can shoot it on horseback. Maybe that might be the new tech. I hope that's not like a broken ass like advantage similar to like having your horse in a fight in Elden Ring. Like, it's obviously way difficult to fight a monster when you're not on your horseback. I don't know how that'll change things. We'll see what happens though. I'm sure they've thought about that. The new type of mount, the horse. Wait, let me just read this real quick. Secrets is the name of the horse bird. I like calling it horse bird, so it's gonna be horse bird for the rest of this podcast. New type of mount that can help you guide to your destination, perform actions while you're on the go, like sharpening weapons, gathering materials, and wielding the slinger. They also in Monster Hunter Rise, there was a dog where you could ride on the dog and you sharpen your weapon too. Like, it's a really, I'm loving the movement that they added to the game, because that's one thing that when they made the world actually open world and you didn't have to load into every single section, it was really cool. But like just running nonstop, your boy was like, damn, this is a little annoying. Focus mode, new ability giving hunters more precise control over aiming, guarding, and attacking weak points on the monster. I wonder if this is similar to Monster Hunter Generations, because Monster Hunter Generations had abilities that charged up when you attack the monster that you could use depending on what weapon you were using and what specialty you had. I'm assuming focus mode is gonna be like slow motion. I also wonder how that's gonna affect people when you're playing online. Like, is everybody gonna slow down? Is a monster just gonna slow down? It ultimately is a good question, and I think that they'll probably address it later down the line. I'm assuming closer to the game's release, they're going to show us some more gameplay. The hook slinger performs contextual actions and collects items from a distance. If I'm not mistaken, this is similar to the maybe similar to the claw in Monster Hunter World. And you use this to like jump onto a monster and attack them, or even like netting small monsters and keeping them as pets. I think this is something that's returning from Monster Hunter World. It looks like it's going to be a bit different though. One thing that they like to do in this game is really just like what they have, they like to improve upon. And what they like, because having a mount isn't new, because you have a mount in Monster Hunter Rise, and in Monster Hunter World in Iceborne DLC, you were able to ride some monsters, like you would use them as like a taxi system. And then in Rise, they let you have like an actual pet that is your mount. And now they're just improving on the mount system and making it better. That's one thing that I really like. It keeps the game fresh while also not like adding too much unnecessary shit that gets thrown away at the end of that one game. I'm looking at you, Pokemon. Like, they just keep things in there and just improve upon it and add and just like make sure that it stays relevant and stays fresh. I am excited for this game. I've been excited for this game since they announced it last year. Everything they showed so far was really dope. I can't wait to see I just want to see one hunt. I want them to show me one hunt, but like seeing how the monsters move in packs, the world is changing. The fact that the world is changing while you're hunting is going to be also really, really interesting. Like being in the middle of a fight and then a sandstorm happening. Like, there's just so much that the game showed that I would be here all day talking about it. But this game looks absolutely bananas.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I'm not the Monster Hunter fan, as evidenced by the past several minutes of conversation. Like, hey, my man went down the game. I know you was hella excited with it when you saw that shit, bro. I know you was.
No, I've watched it like twice now. I'm going back and dissecting small things, because even just like the fact, like watching him block the monster's attack with the sword just opens up so many questions, because there's 14 different items. So is everybody gonna be able to perform that block, or is it just like, is that the sword's interaction? Maybe the hammer does something different. Like, there's so many questions, and there's so many routes they can take it. And with the Monster Hunter franchise itself, Capcom does such a really, really, really good job of just making a fun game. Like, I can't think of another franchise that I would like always. This is a game I'd pre-order. I don't really pre-order games anymore. This is a game I would pre-order just because I know for a fact I'm getting a quality product. Like, this is gonna be an amazing experience.
Nah, I don't doubt it. One of the things that definitely stood out to me is again them making again the open world, which seems really expansive at this point, and the fact that they're doing the dynamic biomes with all the weather changes and stuff like that, like the sandstorms and all the shit that we've seen, the thunderstorms, the lightning strikes, and all that stuff that could have definite effect. Like I think in the trailer, one of the animals got struck by lightning, right? One of the motherfuckers,
they look like they had a lightning rod on their back, and I think it attracts lightning.
Yeah, and lightning just hit him and stuff like that. And who knows what that type shit can play out in terms of full game environment. So really interesting dynamics in it. Fully voice acted, which I love when people go fully voice acted, you know what I'm saying, put some more quality into it. Love to see it again. Like you mentioned, and I love how the series never kind of really takes away. They're always trying to find ways to make it additive. From what I've witnessed and what I've observed over the years looking at Monster Hunter players and stuff like that, they've again all the weapon types, you know what I'm saying, they're all back, and then there probably will be like some again those extra additions to make it even better. The focus mode, some of these things. I think this will be the first time in a while that I might have to become a hunter, bro. I might have to, you know what I'm saying, join back up. I have not played a Monster Hunter in possibly, it's been at least a decade. It's been at least a decade since I played a Monster Hunter, bro. I'll be real with you. It's been very long time. I haven't played Monster Hunter in a long time, because I wasn't really like, people wasn't on that same type of time when I was playing games with at the time, bro. They wasn't trying to grind it. I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just leave it and drop it. But this one, this looks serious. This is like serious business, and with the way Capcom operates, you might get this like before May next year, before May of 2025. So this could be something that holds us down, through the early periods of the year, and it could be a real heavy hitter, bro. I loved what I saw from Monster Hunter Wilds. I think it was definitely justified in its slot, in its placement, and yeah, it's shaping up to be a real heavy hitter, bro. A real big stepper. All right, and let's slide on to the last reveal of this whole state of play. Let's talk about Astrobot, baby. Astrobot, we not in the playground no more, ladies and gentlemen, because Astrobot has a full 80, I think it's about like 80 something hours. It's a full-on adventure, bro. It's a long, big, full-fledged platforming game. Astrobot is here, and not only is he here, he is running across the world, or across several worlds, and doing a whole bunch of hijinks and adventures with a bunch of characters, that are from the lore of PlayStation IPs over the past several years. It looks really cool. I'm not even gonna lie. I was very surprised by, one, it being Astrobot, and two, this game being that deep, bro. Like, dog, you had the whole sections where you playing as Nathan Drake, had the little Nathan Drake skin on, you had the little, you know what I'm saying, you in the ship. The game looks beautiful. The game looks really interesting, and honestly, I think there's a bit more implications to this than I thought. But how did you feel about Astrobot?
I want this game to do well, but man, imagine if this game would have came out with the PlayStation. Like, imagine if this would have been a launch title. Yeah. Like, I think it would have been so good. I really want this game to do well. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I think I don't want this. I just don't want this to get overlooked, because it looks like exactly what a platformer on a PlayStation should look like, in my opinion. Like, this is the, I don't want to say the answer to Mario, because you can't really answer Mario anymore. Yeah. But like, this is like, hey, do you guys have any platformers that I could show my kid? And it's like, oh, well, we could play Astrobot. Like, you put your kid could play Astrobot. He's gonna have a blast. Like, I think this looks really good. I'm excited. And at first I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy. I might have to tap in, because there's just no way, man. Looks like it has so much charm. Looks like it's gonna be so fun, bro. Fingers crossed that this game gets like a sequel. Like, this is the franchise you launched PlayStations with, and I know that the Astro Playground was launched on the PS5, but it's more so like it needed to be a full game. It needed to be a full game.
This was like a, like, again, and they've usually had those things where it's like Little Big Planet or something like that, where they have like the big super wacky, expressive, just beautiful platformer to solidify the lineup, man. And I feel like we've been missing that on the biggest of stages in some regards, at least at the level like this, where the first party's pushing these platformers heavy, you know what I mean? And interestingly enough, I feel like, and I agree with you, and I also feel like supporting this game means a lot for the perception of what platformers in PlayStation's first party look like, because a lot of people have said it, a lot of people have agreed, and they've kind of pushed this thought forward. Yo, Astrobot is seriously like it looks like a seriously good game, but if we support that, does it send a message of we want to see more platformers coming from PlayStation side, and will that open up the can of worms to more of those expressive, more of those cartoony experiences, either of old IP like the Jack and Daxters and the Sly Coopers, or of brand new, and bringing that the platforming genre back to a bit more higher standing, at least in the perception and eyes of PlayStation as they're building out new games going forward.
Yeah, because I think that this game has a potential to be like when the PlayStation Pro drops, or just the PlayStation 6 or whatever. Like, it would be so cool to be like, me personally, I would have bought this over Horizon. It's not even a knock to Horizon, but I don't have to worry about playing Horizon 1 to tap into this. I don't have to worry about playing God of War 1 to tap into this PlayStation experience. It's more like, hey, here's the PlayStation, or even throwing this bad boy on PlayStation Plus. Like, this is a really good, like, hey, this is a PlayStation game. This is a celebration of PlayStation. And honestly, there aren't many PlayStation games that really do crossovers or even like connect with one another. Yeah. And I think that it would be a really good experience to show guys like, hey, everybody, we are one united front. Like, PlayStation isn't just buying companies for them to do things on their own. Like, no, this is a celebration of the PlayStation games that got us here. And honestly, I want to see more things like this.
I fully agree. I swear we said this a minute ago. I forget which episode, bro. Listen, y'all need to be listening to previous episodes, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. YouTube.com/no cooldown, man. No cooldown on all audio platforms, man. We be saying stuff like this. I ain't gonna lie. We were like, yo, listen, make weirder games, make more experimental games, make games that might not be on the already beaten down path of, the super Oscar baity thing. We just want fun shit. And Astro looks like a super fun time. Looks a high amount of references, high amount of cameos in one way or another, and it looks like a really good platform that introduces elements of new gameplay every so often and stuff, and adds to the fun. And I hope that this game and this release can really open up players' eyes and Sony's eyes to see that, yo, we can put more back into that platform, into more fun experiences, into more out there experiences to help push some of these titles that are really gonna I think make an impact in the long run, because they're generally fun, having that full backing of the marketing as well. Last thing we got in this elk was what's it called, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and I think that was a fantastic game, but I just didn't think it got the fairest shake of marketing, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Didn't sell the best. I feel like maybe some of the splits and how if maybe COVID broke down, played into it. I don't know, but I want more games like that. I want games like how Astrobot's looking. I want those just as much as I want anything else. So I'm hoping this can be a big statement moment for Sony, and a statement moment for this game, that we want fun, experimental, wacky, cartoony platformers. We love that shit. That shit is fun. Give us that. And I think we'll be in a better place going down in general at the AAA level. So yeah, that's that. I guess just in general, I guess what's your rating of the what's your rating of the show from on a letter scale?
I would have to say a C+. I can't give it the B notch, because like a lot of the stuff is just cool. Like, it's cool, but none of it really moved me. Monster Hunter is definitely pulling this up a lot, and Astrobots was a huge like surprise. Astrobots and Dynasty Warriors, I think, really like were those like pleasant surprises. Monster Hunter is exactly what I wanted to see in the showcase like this, but everything else was kind of just like whatever. I think if Concord would have came out 3 years ago, like we've been talking like Overwatch 2, before Overwatch 2 came out, I think we would have been in a better place for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna tap into Concord. But like now, after Xifine just being released, launching Concords, it's like, damn, I don't know if I really care anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead C+.
I would say C-. I would say C-. I feel like compared to other people's expectations, which probably should have been a little bit lower considering it was a state of play and not an actual showcase. You know, still some things that are up in the air. Infinity and Nikki look decent, but I'm not too interested. Battle of Antara, I want to see more on. Again, cool with the, you know, some of the things here. A little mix match trailer, decent. VR stuff looked interesting, but I didn't really care for because I don't have the VR units. Mall Rivals is a null and void thing to me. Well, I'll give you a little bit of plus points. I'll give you a little bit of plus points because y'all show Venom and Adam Warlock. I'll give you that. Let me see. Until Dawn, didn't care for. Path of Exile 2, good move business wise, but I just didn't care for. Cool stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think it's interesting. Dynasty Warrior, the biggest pluses for me were Dynasty Warriors, Where Winds Meet, an extended trailer for that, but I give that half points because I know that already. Silent Hill 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, and Astrobot. I think everything else still felt a little bit short. Concord came out to mixed reaction. Interesting enough, but I just don't think it's swimming in very infested waters right now, so I don't think it's gonna have it didn't have the best initial reaction. I think it's gonna have a bit of an uphill battle, like I said earlier. Decent showcase, but could there have been more? Maybe, who knows? But I feel like this year in general might be a slower year just for announcements and everything, but just because the industry's halfway gone to shit, all these BS layoffs and stuff like that, industry closures, timelines getting shifted and adjusted, plans getting rearranged. So I feel like announcements in general might be a tad bit slower than years that we've been used to, maybe until the end of this year. Maybe Game Awards might be a big pickup because 2025 I think is going to be a huge year in gaming, if not bigger than 2023. I think 2025 is going to be ridiculous, but that's an early call. But yeah, I'd say C- for this show. All right, now moving on from PlayStation, we can switch gears and talk about Xbox, and specifically one of the big properties that Xbox has acquired in Activision, Black Ops, Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 has been officially revealed, as if we already didn't know that was on the way. It has gotten the full marketing, you know, rollout and stuff like that with the whole campaigns, the Margaret Thatchers, the Bill Clintons, the Saddam Husseins doing all this crazy stuff, getting a full reveal, and we're expected to hear more at the Xbox showcase. They have their own Call of Duty Direct on Sunday, right after the showcase is done, so we're gonna hear more details about that. But based on the premise and the news that Black Ops 6 will be coming day one on Xbox Game Pass, man, there's a lot to break down there. So, but first, let's just talk about Black Ops 6. How do you feel about the reveal? How do you feel about some of the rollout so far? What are you expecting from the game? I know we talked about it a little previously in an earlier episode, but just to touch on it, now it's official. How do you feel about Black Ops 6?
I do not care. No, I mean, yes, I don't, but I'm not gonna be an asshole. No, I'm not gonna be an asshole. So I think it looks interesting. My biggest problem with really trying to really feel like, oh man, this is gonna be so sick, is that I feel like ever since the Modern Warfare remake, like ever since Warzone was implemented with Call of Duty, I feel like they really haven't changed the game that much. I feel like they try to keep it close to, if not very similar to the previous game, so that Warzone doesn't have to change too much. Like that's kind of just the vibe I've been getting from them. I think this is a step in maybe a new direction for Call of Duty. I think they're going to try to not reinvent the wheel, but what's the word I'm looking for? Like I think this is going to be a new era for them, because I think that
turn over a new leaf, hitting the corner.
Yeah, like the last game I believe introduced the Call of Duty HQ, correct? Like they're trying to like turn their shit into like its own.
Yeah, like a holistic, like a holistic live app, I guess. Yeah, so to speak, where all the games kind of flow through.
Yeah, so like, and I believe what was the last game? Was that Modern Warfare 2?
The last game before this one? Before Modern Warfare 3?
So what is the last game before Black Ops 6? Because they all been
Modern Warfare 3 with the one that's currently out right now.
Modern Warfare 3, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that this may be their opportunity to take the game into a new direction. But every video and clip of Call of Duty, and I see a good amount of them every now and then, I feel like I've been seeing the same game for the past couple years, and it's mostly because it's all Warzone content that gets like put on my timeline. And that's my biggest concern, is that that's my biggest issue with the Call of Duty games, is that I don't want to buy $70 game to then pay for a fucking battle pass. Let's put that out there. You have to pay for the battle pass after you pay $70 for the 300 gigabyte game. And it's very similar to the game that passed. And that's my biggest concern, is that when I see Black Ops 6, it doesn't move me because I don't know what the implications are. I don't know what the game is gonna be like. If you're gonna show me some shit that is gonna be different from what I've been experiencing, then I'm all for it. I'm excited to see what we have going on. But because I know that they can't change too much, because then you have to change Warzone. Like I just don't see them doing anything crazy. Maybe zombies might be cool, but even the zombie community has been very upset with the way they've been doing zombies for the past couple years.
Yeah, and that's not Treyarch's fault. That's just they're trying to implement zombies into every damn thing, and they should have just kept it to Black Ops. But that's just Activision.
Zombies should have been its own game at this point. It should have just been its own individual thing. Maybe a little mode or a tie-in or whatever the fuck. But the problem is that like I just don't really feel like they take enough. I don't think they take enough risks with this franchise anymore. I don't feel like they changed the game enough. To me, I see Modern Warfare players, like when I played Cold War, and I remember I owned Cold War, and then I would like jump into Warzone, and Warzone is still the same. And I was like, okay, well the new game's out, but it's because they don't want to alienate the motherfuckers who are playing whatchamacallit. But at that point is when you really should have just been like, Warzone is going to be its own thing, and it's going to update with the multiplayer game, and it's going to change, the gunplay is going to change to Cold War, but it didn't. And that's my biggest fear, is that like if you're gonna be
it took a while for it to do it. It eventually did, but then like they had to switch back and forth. Like each update, it does do that. Each update, like it will change with the current Call of Duty, but it's like the maps might be different, or they might bring one back. They like, you know, Ashika Island's in rotation now. They might get rid of it and bring back you know what I'm saying, Verdansk for like 2 weeks, and then come back Verdansk 1980 or something like that to make it fit the map. Like they to an extent they do like update it there, but it's just I'm just more concerned on the multiplayer front, not necessarily Warzone itself, because Warzone got its own problems. I'm just focused on the core game itself, the core gameplay, the you know the gunplay, the makings of it, content updates and such. I just need to see that they're on the ball. And again, we haven't had a Black Ops since since Cold War in 2020. It's been 4 years. So I'm curious. This is as close to a corner turn as we can get. I agree with you though. This is as close of a corner turn as we can get to you know, with the Call of Duty you know franchise. It's a big play. This is a big play. This is a big moment for them to really lock in. And again, they're starting to revert some things to try and get some normality back. Again, the zombies is round based again. We've already heard. We've seen some of the mechanics and little snippets, like, you know, some of the dolphin dives and slides and shit like that. So they're trying to bring some things back to help, you know, restore the feeling, like Modern Warfare 3 said it was gonna do but didn't do, or maybe did too much of and shit like that. But Black Ops is, again, we've said this before, but if there's any game that is going to change the fortunes of Call of Duty for the better, at least set them up for another decent, you know, upswing, it's Treyarch. They know how to innovate. They know how to bring change. They know how to instill change in every facet of Call of Duty franchise, you know. So we just gotta see how it is. But what the biggest piece of this is, it's not even the game itself, which we'll hear more about and we'll kind of give more definitive thoughts, but it's just the fact that they've committed. Xbox has gone all in. They're saying, yo, this is going to go on Game Pass day one. It will be day one on Game Pass. What does this mean?
I think this means Game Pass is going to go up in price. I think Game Pass is going to be a little bit more expensive. Don't get me wrong, it being on Game Pass is pretty cool, because like I will probably download Call of Duty. I know, it's crazy. I'll tap into Call of Duty day one, but I don't think that this is a bad thing. This is actually huge for the Call of Duty marketplace. Like I'm sure a lot of dudes who bought PlayStation 5s with Call of Duty, that little Call of Duty bundle, are sitting there like, when the next Xbox drops, do I really want to wait and get a PlayStation, or should I just get an Xbox? Because all I play is Call of Duty. Like the dads are really contemplating. Like I feel bad for the kids. I feel bad for the kids who are like, oh man, I love having a PlayStation, because the dads are really thinking like, yo, if we share this console, kid, I only really play one game, so I might as well buy an Xbox. This is pretty big in terms of like in the Call of Duty community. I don't know how. I mean, the Call of Duty brand is strong. I think it'll last for at least 2 more decades before we really start seeing the quote unquote fall off of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even right now, like League, for example, I think a lot of the community accepts that a lot of people who play this game are like older now. Like the amount of new players to old players is just not there anymore, and the old players are just gonna keep getting older. So like at some point, there will be a point where Call of Duty brand isn't as strong. I don't know if we'll I don't know if we'll even live to see that though, because it's just something accessible, and if they keep making it accessible, more people are gonna fall into this franchise, and this franchise may just keep growing.
Yeah.
So it being on Game Pass is kind of dire for PlayStation, because now people on PlayStation got to look at a $70 price tag and be like, damn, them folks over there get it for $15 an hour, for $15 a month. And I gotta spend 70 whole fucking dollars for this Black Ops game. That's another thing too, is if this shit sucks, PlayStation motherfuckers got scammed. Xbox motherfuckers are just like, well, I'll just delete it. You know, like that's just crazy.
True. And when you think about it, I mean, yeah, if there was any other, for the console market at least, if there's any bigger play that Xbox could have done, this is it. This is the one. This is going to force the hands of everybody to make a decision. Either saying, okay, it's the biggest, one of the biggest properties in gaming. Okay, cool. So we're gonna put it here. We're gonna put it on this. Either you jump to this or you keep paying 70. Do what you got to do. And this is where Xbox's like either bluff or hand will be called. Their hand will be checked in this moment whenever Call of Duty drops. You know, I'm very curious to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, Xbox would hope that this is going to be enough to push not only some hardware units to get people on the Xbox or get them in the Xbox ecosystem through PC Game Pass or something like that, because Call of Duty will be available everywhere on all versions of Game Pass day one. So I think that they're hoping for some boost in hardware, a slight boost in hardware, a big boost in Xbox Game Pass numbers, and they'll probably quietly jump the price up, maybe in the months to come before Call of Duty drops or something like that. And they hope they can sustain those numbers that way. That's their biggest hope. If not, this is the ultimatum, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Looking at this, to me, it feels like an ultimatum. Either this works and they sustain themselves enough to, you know, again, justify some things. They can move back their ecosystem. It has some stasis because so many numbers are coming through, because the growth has slowed down a little bit in the past few months. Either they create another giant wave of growth for Game Pass, which is gonna again see them through for the next couple of years, so they can get some of their other first party titles afloat, and get that first party, you know, that library really going. And once they can start piling into all these Xbox Game Pass day one drops from their first party, this is going to be a machine that they can actually maybe find some ground to start catching PlayStation in certain regards. Or it can go all wrong. It doesn't have any major lasting effects on Game Pass. Maybe it's a moderate jump in subscribers, and they're kind of really stuck, and they can't justify the price increases as much, or the price increases that they implement aren't enough to offset the cost of them potentially losing so much money on the hard $70 that they would make on Xbox consoles just selling Call of Duty straight out. This is their ace in the hole, bro. This is it. And I don't know which way it's gonna go. I really don't. Is the brand of Call of Duty that strong to where people will potentially switch consoles or switch environments and get Xbox involved in their environment and buy Game Pass to get on it? Maybe in this economy, in this socio-economic state that we live in, people making that switch to get a short-term bang for their buck might look very enticing, and it just might work, but then again, it just might not. I can't sit here and say I definitively have the answer. A lot of people on podcasts might talk shit like they know, but a lot of motherfuckers, I don't think anybody really knows what's going on, bro. Phil Spencer and them sitting there like fingers crossed, like shit. Let's hope this joint go crazy, bro. Like this is a serious toss up, man. I am so intrigued on what the knock on effect is going to be once Black Ops 6 drops and the Game Pass is there. At minimum, I think we know fairly for certain. Everybody can agree that there will be price increases at some point. That will happen, but whether it be the numbers, whether it be the library support beyond that, other first party titles, Xbox's multi-platform strategy. How aggressive do they go, knowing that either they're gonna have a lot of Game Pass editions, with Black Ops 6, or maybe they have a little. How does that alter their level of aggressiveness with their multi-platform stuff? Because they've already committed to putting some on there. Like, if Black Ops 6 is booming and they have, they want to drive it further, they could go as lax or as aggressive as they want in other regards. So it's such a toss up, but this is going to literally make or break Xbox's strategy and level of confidence in the market doing anything. This is like, their fate is in the balance in terms of not necessarily their livelihood of them existing, but just whether they can stand on their own too as a viable competitor and a even more serious competitor over time, or it kind of wanes back and they're just more focused on the third party publishing and multi-platform sales, and all their IPs end up everywhere else because they cannot manage the financial burden of exclusivity at that point. I'm so interested. I don't know. Y'all gotta let us know in the comments or somewhere, bro. I don't know how y'all feel it's gonna turn out, but this is the heavyweight bout to watch. Whatever happens here, this is gonna have ripple effects for Xbox and gaming at large for a little bit, man. We're gonna see their hand imminently. We're gonna see their hand imminently. We'll figure it out though. All right, let's switch gears to the quick bites. Let's talk about some of these quick stories that we saw across the week. First and foremost, Little Nightmares 3 has been delayed to 2025. Unfortunate news that that game has been pushed back. When? Quick note on that.
I hate to see it because this was going to be the return of Corey Kenshin. I felt it in my bones Corey was going to come back for this, and the longer we wait, the longer we go without Corey content.
Tough world, man. Tough world. One of these days. All right, let's switch gears and then let's take a quick note about Armored Core, and apparently the fact that, of course, Mr. Miyazaki-san, he wants another Armored Core. He spoke about it recently, and he thinks there's really a lot of potential to add into the series, and he thought Armored Core 6 was a success. There's still room for improvement, so he thinks there's belief that they can continue there. How do you feel?
I'm playing through Armored Core now. Yesterday on stream, I turned it off. I was just not having a good day yesterday, but I think these games are a lot of fun. They're really cool. My biggest issue is that I would love to see just more I want more cutscenes. Me personally, I just feel like a lot of the time I'm just getting talked to through a podcast. It's just hey bro, we gotta go blow this shit up, and it's all right, cool, whatever. But I kind of want more. Yeah, but the set pieces are sick when you get those cool cutscenes.
Facts.
But that's my only biggest issue with it. But I think the game is amazing, and I really would love to see more Armored Core.
Yeah. Make more. That's all I have to say. Make more, dog. All right, we can switch gears here and talk about another delay, unfortunately. Oh my goodness, this pains me with all these delays, but you know what? It is what it is. We have a potential delay. We've heard some word from some reliable sources here that Metal Gear Solid 3 remake is potentially delayed into 2025. When? I know you might have been on the lookout for that as well, since you're a big Metal Gear fan. How do you feel about this potential push back?
So that pushing it back to 2025, you're sick. You're so not, nah, brother. I would hire more people today, brother. Don't let that shit go to 2025. There's too many games dropping. Will there be people buying this shit day one? I'm sure, but I am not. If this drops next to Monster Hunter, you're cooked. If this drops next to GTA, you're cooked. This just drop. If you drop this next to Death Stranding 2, it's disrespectful, and I may not buy it entirely. You're cooked. I'm not paying for that.
Yikes.
Think about that. Think about a Hideo Kojima release next to a remake of a Hideo Kojima release. That would be crazy. That should be so crazy.
That's a little freaked out. I ain't gonna lie. That's a little treacherous to me.
Yeah,
We gonna see about it. But let's slide on some more news that we have a lot of corroboration, a lot of information here that the next Resident Evils that are going to be rolling through will be a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0. So we've heard some word that some things will be reshuffled. Apparently Resident Evil 9 will be pushed back and maybe into later 2025, not 2026. There is no any corroborating news of Resident Evil 1 being remade at all. So the focus will be apparently Code Veronica and RE0. So how do you feel about that?
I think this is good. Like, I think this is pretty cool because I think these are games that are pretty niche, or like not ones that have had a lot of life. Like, I don't really hear a lot of. You're the only person I met that was really adamant about Code Veronica, right?
Bro, yes, yeah, dog. So like, we need it.
I played Resident Evil 1 on my DS. Like, I really enjoyed Resident Evil 1. So like, I remember, so I think this is like a really good move on their part, and I think it's a really good move if they decide to push this to 2025 and then drop Resident Evil 9 2026, because I think 2026 is going to be a dead year, no pun intended. And I think they have like a lot of room to work if they drop it to, because if you drop Resident Evil 9 next to, like, again, if you drop it next to GTA, fucking, I keep saying Death Stranding too, I know that's not going to outsell Resident Evil, but like, you drop it next to a lot of heavy hitters, it's just may get lost in all the noise. But if you drop it in 2026, but you drop a Code Veronica, which, let's be honest, a Code Veronica is really only going to sell to the motherfuckers who really like Resident Evil. So you could drop that shit any point in time of the year and they're still going to buy it because they're people who are tapped in. Like, you're not going to get a crazy new fan base, but if you dropped, honestly, they should really just scrap everything and drop everything in 2026. I think 2025 is already too full. Drop everything in 2026. But if you had to choose between a new Resident Evil game like Resident Evil 9 or a Code Veronica, which may not have taken as much resources to make as a Resident Evil 9, I would drop the Code Veronica for sure 2025. Yeah. Drop that bad boy. Maybe not make it a full price ass game, but like a $50 joint.
Yeah, I think 50 ball's not bad.
I'd buy it for 50.
Yeah, and I rep Code Veronica heavily, especially in this case, because of the introduction of Wesker and having the proper build up for Albert Wesker and stuff in the story, and what they might do further down the line with either another Resident Evil 9 or whatever they have next, maybe even again Resident Evil 5 if they're going to remake that and stuff like that. Having the proper setup for Wesker in this current run, this current continuity and stuff like that, and remaking everything, you need that proper intro in my opinion. So giving Code Veronica the space first to say, hey, yo, listen, here's Claire, here's Chris, do y'all thing, y'all at the facility and stuff like that, y'all escape, it has its own place, and you give Wesker the proper red carpet rollout, because in the modern sense, you know what I'm saying, in the remakes, I want him to be done right. I want the Wesker introduction to be done right, because I don't think we won't see the last of him. If they're going to continue remaking these games, we will not see the last of him, and I want to see it done proper. So I'm very excited that I hope a lot of these things point to Code Veronica coming through first. That's going to be fantastic. I am very, very much for that, and I think that's a good plan if they continue to do these remakes going down the line. All right, let's switch gears to the PSVR2 PC adapter. It's launching on August 7th for, I believe, $59.99. It's going to allow you to connect to the PC, and you can expand your game library. Steam VR will be involved with this. I believe it has like 110 degree field of view, all stuff like that. The same usual things with the PSVR, but you can connect to the PC now. How do you feel?
Y'all are fucking late. That's how I feel. Y'all are so late. This shit is, brother. I said this for years. I said this for years when the PSVR dropped, and I said it when the PSVR 2 dropped. The fact that you're not on PC is killing you, because at the end of the day, the people who give a fuck about PC or who give a fuck about VR are on PC. And if you would have told me I could use this on my PlayStation and my PC, it would have been a no-brainer. I would have just bought it because I have both, and that way I don't have to worry about which one am I going to use. Like, why would I buy two different VR headsets, right? Like, that's the biggest problem, is that like I want to play VR games that are on my PC, but I can't because I can't use this that's not on my PlayStation. You guys are so slow with this that I'm sure anybody who had even an inkling enough of an idea of buying a VR headset has already bought one for their PC. This is you guys are so slow with this, it's not even funny. I don't even have a VR headset anymore, but off of principle, I don't think I'm buying the PSVR, just because now I gotta pay for the adapter. This should have came with every PSVR headset, because you guys are so afraid of extending your ecosystem to PC. Now you guys are like, oh, PC isn't the enemy? Yeah, let's definitely expand. You guys are so slow, it's not even funny. This is way overdue.
I agree. That's all I'm saying. Hey, listen, you covered it for me, right? That's pretty. You pretty much got it.
PlayStation is stupid. Too long didn't read PlayStation stupid.
Yep. That makes sense to me. All right, let's switch gears and let's talk about a quick rumor we heard about Xbox potentially signing a deal with the co-creators of the Batman Arkham series. They went and made a whole debut studio. Their studio name is 100 Star, and they're probably going to make a brand new debut game. And Xbox has apparently signed exclusivity rights or a contract with them to get that game to Xbox first. Again, that studio was from a Rocksteady devs, about 20 of them, planning to be a AAA single-player action-adventure game built in UE5. And yeah, they're thinking about jumping the gun and really getting them under the Xbox wing for releasing this game first. How do you feel about this potential rumor?
It's kind of nasty when you fire so many people to be like, yo, we got money for a deal, brother. I'm on LinkedIn looking at jobs all day because of you, because y'all decided to spend bajillion dollars on fucking Blizzard, and you're telling me you're still making deals. What deals can you make right now, Mr. Spencer? What deals? Where are you getting this money from? I thought you had to fire people because you didn't have money. And the motherfucker who made, I like the Arkham games, don't get me wrong, but how much you paying them? Because you can pay a lot of motherfuckers who just lost their jobs. Some bullshit. That shit is just crazy to me. It's like you going up to your friend and be like, yo, bro, I gotta cancel today because I can't come out. I ain't got no money, bro. I'm cooked. And then you see him on his Instagram story talk about yo, just bought this new watch. Like, what are you talking about? Bro, what are you talking about?
Nah, it's vile. It is kind of vile, bro.
It's nasty. It's nasty.
It's a wild look, gangy. I don't know what to say to y'all, for real. But I will say on the pure, like, they looking for games and stuff like that. Remove context for a second. I think that this is smart on their part. They don't have strong first party exclusivity things anyways for single player games. They do, but again, not as strong as PlayStation. Again, this is all in relation to the apex of the industry, the height of the industry. No pun intended, not apex, not that damn game, but you know what I mean. Like, we're talking about the best of the best in the industry, and Xbox has a ways to go to catch up in that first party regard. This is one of those ways that they can do that, and getting some licensing, which, you know, it may be a little bit early to jump the gun as the studio is just starting to get built out and stuff and really see what's going on, but it's a risk that they might be willing to take, considering how much they want to close the gap in terms of quality single player experiences at the AAA level, at the level that Sony, you know, dominates in. So for them, they want to try and make it happen. I understand it, but yeah, that money looking crazy. The money move's looking crazy though. You know what I mean? We can switch gears again one more time and talk about another heavy hitter, one of Wen's favorite sons, Warhammer Space Marine 2. We have a brand new trailer for their PvE co-op mode, Operations, 3-player. Again, a lot of different objectives, a lot of different environments. Looks really cool. A lot of customization you could play in there. 6 playable classes. For example, like a bulwark, you have a combat shield, or a sniper with a camo cloak. Really cool stuff in here. What'd you make of the Operations PvE co-op trailer?
I need this game, bro. I'm sweating every morning I wake up just thinking about playing this game. It's like, oh my god, man. I just can't go another day without it, man.
Oh my gosh.
I downloaded Dawn of War 1 on the PC. You know how old that game don't even got like 720p graphics. That's how old that shit is. I need something, brother. I've already beaten Space Marines. I'm playing fucking Dark Tide. I need this game. This is exactly what I wanted for so long. If this game sucks, I don't know if I can play games anymore, man. I'm gonna start whittling. I'm gonna just buy a bunch of wood. I'm just get a knife. I'm just gonna be outside, man. I can't. This game can't suck. I need this shit so bad. This is all I ever wanted. Oh my gosh.
Nah, this game, I will admit. Well, I don't need to admit like I'm hating on this game. I'm really interested in it. I just never found the right place to double dutch and get into the lore. Shout out to Jay the Villain. Jay sent me a video which I'm like looking up on the lore and stuff like that. I'm about to say that combined with what Wen's been spouting his propaganda for the past 2 years.
If you need them, like I can't, like, when I tell you this game, this is the amount of untapped potential Warhammer has is insane. I cannot express to you how we've gone this far without this kind of low-key being mainstream at this point, because it has everything people, it's aliens shooting, destroying, like there's so much cool shit here. It's not even funny. If you want a video game this is for everybody. If you want a video game to jump into the game first, into this lore first, play Space Marines 1. It still works pretty well. There's like, it's on PC, it's on PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know if they're on the newer generations, but if you have a PC, you can definitely play this game. Jump in there, and from there, just look up Warhammer 40K lore if you're really interested in the backstory of shit, and you will find a bunch of different videos. Just find one that isn't too crazy long, and then once you're like, damn, I really need this, then you jump into the long ones. Yeah. But I cannot express how fucking amazing this franchise is.
Yeah, and again, this trailer that we got, it looks really, really good, man. The gunplay looks gritty. You know what I'm saying? The melee stuff and everything, combat looks super, super engaging, super like punchy. I love that. The customization looks pretty dope. Liking some of the bosses, the class customization, weapon customization, what you can do, kind of the variations that you can get in there. I saw somebody do like a whole launching jump, like drop kick, bro. He like launched in the air with the jump boots, and he just like straight like beamed across the map, like murderous intent vibes, dynamic entry vibes, and drop kick somebody. If that don't sell you, I don't know what will. I'm sorry. If that really don't sell you, I'm being interested, at least moderately interested in this game. I don't know what's gonna. I don't know what can. I really don't. So
the classes and the customization, like, and not even just in this trailer, because there's another trailer that dropped with like the PvP, because there's also PvP in this game too. For some reason, they're just fire. They're packing this game with shit. But like just the different classes, it just gives me 6 reasons to replay the game. Like just I'm gonna be on this game day one. The different armor sets, there's so much. Again, I'm not gonna we don't have enough time to talk about how much I love this franchise, but I'm tapped in.
Nah, fair is. We're definitely gonna see more of it down the line. But yeah, nah, this game has easily been looking more and more impressive the more we've seen it. So I'm tapping in. I see what's going on. But let's move on to the last piece of these quick bites here. Let's talk about some new information that we got from Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree. Just to run down some details here. We got 10 new main bosses and additional side bosses, over 10. We have a more densely packed map, around 100 new weapons, 8 brand new weapon types, 30 to 40 hour DLC. Map is roughly equal to the size of Limgrave and the Weeping Peninsula and a touch of Caelid. The Divine Beast Dancing Lion, that little dog thing with the little mask and stuff, the mechanic one. It's an early skill check. We have again a whole new system called Shadow Realm Blessing, which beginners can use a stackable consumable, scattered tree fragments, to reduce incoming damage and increase outgoing damage. So some quick details on that one. What do you make of all this stuff ahead of the Erdtree DLC drop?
I'm not trying to stop it. I'm not trying to buy this game. I'm broke. I don't want to have to buy this game, but this looks like I don't want to have to buy the DLC, but I might have to buy the DLC because this looks bananas. Like this looks really sick.
It's another game.
Stackable yeah, it's basically another game. The stackable consumable part, I was like, ooh, reduce incoming damage, increase outgoing damage. Hold on a second.
Facts.
Hold on a second. Like, oh man, I recently started another playthrough of Elden Ring. I did a magic playthrough this time because last time I think I did like bleed and poison. Poison sucks. I wish they would buff poison, but hey, I'm not don't look at me. I don't balance games. But fucking phenomenal game, man. This is just generational at this point. This is too good.
Remember how
Elden Ring is on the same level, I think, of like Baldur's Gate 3. Like we may have to go through like back to decades of like what are generation defining games. Like these two are definitely up there. That's something you don't even have to talk about. Like if you don't have Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3 in your like top of the past decade, like
you're missing something.
You don't know ball. I don't know what to tell you.
You gotta check it out, man. And I will say right now, early before we get into anything else, is it tough to say that a DLC could win Game of the Year? This is the year.
No, don't do that to them. That would be OD.
This is the year where we might have that conversation. Like, bro, is an expansion gonna be a Game of the Year? Cause the playing field is looking a little open right now. It's looking a little open.
If Elden Ring won, if Erdtree won Game of the Year,
what's the eligibility rules?
I think the fact that it's called the DLC is the eligibility rules. I think that's, that's the cutoff point.
Listen, man, Mountain Dew Doritos Poke could change that shit any day. We don't know. We don't know what's going on, right?
I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, you know, I could see Jeff Keighley being like, I could definitely see him doing that. If he did that though, the man is compromised. We gotta get him up out of here.
Hey.
we cannot let this happen.
Hey man, listen, he got that Miyazaki bag, bro. You know what I'm saying? The same bag that Kai Cenat got for that promo, man. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, gang.
I saw somebody tweet out that like Jeff Keighley was really liking multiverses, and they were like, yo, if this man makes multiverses win game of the year over fucking Tekken 8, I was like, yo, if that happens, I'm going to be shitting on this. I'm going to be shitting on this award show for the. I can't. No way, right? And like, if this would have been maybe 2-3 weeks from now, sure. Like, all right, he's fucking with multiverses after we fix all the problems. Multiverses in this week with the LeBron James glitch. Fucking Iron Giant can grab you, make you eat his ass infinitely. Like that's an infinite. Like that's a grab. Like I show you. Look up. Fucking Iron Giant talk grab, and that man literally grabs you and then sits on you. Shit is disgusting, and you can't break out of it. And that man was like, "This game is good." I don't know. Hey, y'all do you.
Oh shit. Oh man. But shout out to Urchi's gonna be great, guys. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. I don't know how we got here. That shit look great.
Insane. But that's all we got for the quick bites, man. Let's move into the trailer trove, the section with more watchable media and all that good stuff like that. Let's talk about the first reveal of the Tomb Raider Legend of Lara Croft show coming from Netflix. Is going to be dropping on October 10th. We talked about this in previous episodes, just the rumors out, but now that we got actual footage, what'd you make of what you saw?
It looked really good, man. I knew this was gonna be good. I think like this is one of those franchises where I'm surprised we didn't get more Lara Croft content like to begin with. I know, you know, Angelina Jolie did her thing.
Absolutely, she did.
Absolutely cooked. Like the franchise has never been the same. Like you've never seen it. Like that is crazy. That's a crazy level of performance. It's like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like you will never look at Iron Man the same because of Robert Downey Jr.
Facts.
But I'm surprised we haven't gotten more Lara Croft, like a TV show or something like that. Like I just think it's really, really you could easily translate it. Like it's something that I feel like isn't impossible to do. This looks really dope. Will I be tapping in October 10th? Yeah, I don't see why not. Like I think this is a really good move. I want to support video games getting made into animated TV shows because I think that's honestly one of the better formats for them. It's a lot easier than having to like put Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Doom. Again, still haven't watched that movie. I just know that shit's ass.
it's so ass, bro. It's so garbage.
So it's like, this is something that I want to support because I want more of it. And honestly, October 10th is gonna be sick. Netflix has a really good year because we got Arcane coming too. This is a really good year for video game content. We had Fallout, we got Tomb Raider coming in, we got Arcane coming in, and I'm sure I'm missing one. I'm pretty sure I'm missing another animated video game TV show or whatever. Like we have some big video game content and watchable media coming soon.
Facts. And it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. But so far, Tomb Raider, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I'm loving how everybody's calling all these cartoon shows, animated shows, anime now. It's funny as shit because I was like, it used to be, oh, it's a cartoon, it's not anime, it's not that. It's not. I'm like, and now everybody's calling it shit anime, bro. It's cartoons, gang. It's all the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoy.
Just sharp cartoons, man. Just call it sharp cartoons. Just
sharp cartoons, bro. That's insane. Light cheddar. That's fucking wild. But let's move on to the next news story here. And we got a juicy one, man. We got a juicy one because we've heard a lot of words about the Ghost of Tsushima film, the Ghost of Tsushima project, and we've heard some rumors that the star of Shogun, one of the stars of Shogun, Mr. Hiroyuki Sanada, is in talks to be a part of that cast. Now, many people have been speculating what his role could be. Most people have been pointing to Lord Shimura, Jin Sakai's uncle, in the game as a potential, casting for Sanada. One, how do you feel about his inclusion and what that could mean?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Tripp. I kind of, when they said a Ghost of Tsushima movie, I figured they already talked to their man. Like I thought the man was already on board.
Why is my man in every samurai flick, bro. Like, damn.
You know why? You know why?
I know it's such bullshit. I mean, he be
Why.
cooking, but damn, bro, you couldn't give him some role. He couldn't be a bank robber and nobody like that. He had to be Jackie Chan's Japanese brother in France and Rush Hour 3 and shit. Like, why couldn't you just make him somebody else? He couldn't have been an astronaut, bro. He could have been an astronaut. Damn.
I actually would love to see him as like a barista.
Bro,
now that you mention it,
also
I think
real.
they should hire him as like, but maybe he's like, nah, I'm not taking that role.
Yeah, maybe he's not.
Yeah,
who knows? You're right.
But like when you told me like, yo, Ghost of Tsushima, that was the first person I pictured that was already signed up.
I ain't gonna lie.
Like,
if it wasn't the original cast, it was probably him. It was probably gonna be him. That's insane. But hey, listen, everything I've heard about this Ghost of Tsushima film has been solid. I'm pretty sure, again, Chad Stahelski is involved with that project still, which is great. I'm hoping there was some consideration for the original cast, you know, for the original mocappers to be a part of it in some capacity. I wish they really could. No word about any main character yet, but that could be super cool. Yeah, I have solid expectations for this film. And again, Sonata's in there, so it's a substantial film at this point, I guess, if he's involved in these types of projects. I don't know if that's a proper litmus test or not, but it seems interesting enough. Sonata's a dope actor as always, so whatever he does in the film is going to be pretty fucking great. So I'm with it. I have no opposing thoughts to including him in the cast if that so happens to, you know, come true. All right, let's slide on to a brand new trailer for Venom: The Last Dance, the final movie in the trilogy. I don't know how we've gotten to 3 movies of Venom, but damn it, we're here. How do you feel?
I'm not gonna lie to you, I had zero interest in this movie, or in any of them. I haven't seen any of the Venom movies. I watched this trailer. I gotta watch these movies now. This shit looks stupid, but it looks like a good stupid. It looks super silly. I may have to tap in. This shit looks dumb as fuck, but in the best possible way. You
know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Like, this is actually probably the weakest set of, and at least maybe the least menacing set of antagonists, or maybe the least, you know, notable antagonists we've seen, because it's just like the aliens from their home world and shit like that, like the I guess opposing force from their home world. I'm not too up on like the straight lore of Venom's homeworld and the symbiote homeworld and stuff like that, outside of, you know, no mage y'all niggas. Like I don't know too much about any other ops like that, so leave me be. Comic book people, please help me out in the comments. Help, not chastise me and shit and beat me over the ass with a stick, you know what I'm saying? Chill out. But outside of that, it's funny because some of like the fight sequences and stuff like that actually look probably the most competent and some of the most engaging I've seen out of the trailers that we got for different movies so far. The horse thing was freaking hilarious. I'm sorry. Sometimes comic book movies need to just be comic book movies, and that was a very like comic book movie thing. If there was anything, it reminded me of Ghost Rider, because man just touched the damn horse and the horse just set on fire and stuff. It's automatically, oh shit, you're that guy. And it just reminded me of that moment where it's like, you know, sometimes you just got to do some wacky off the wall shit. This horse, we cannot kill it. Let's ride. Let's go make it a symbiote horse, and we move. That type of hokey, you know, like sometimes it's not cringy, sometimes cheesy, sometimes like very zany off the wall stuff. I love that. So why not do it more? So if they had those moments like that, I'll probably get some value out of the movie. But outside of it, I wasn't too impressed. Also, if the I don't know when, you haven't seen the second Venom movie, so I don't know if do you want it spoiled? If not, I'll lay off.
Oh, you could spoil the shit out of it. I think I've seen like a bunch of reviews for it. I watch a YouTuber review movies, and I think I know what happens.
Yeah, you know what's going down then if you talk about, so this is the piece of, I guess, whatever piece of Venom that was left behind from some post-credit scene. Apparently there's a part in the trailer where that gets kind of like shored up. So if they introduce that whole element, that whole thing, only for it to get closed right back up and nothing ever comes of that plot point ever again in that movie, it's gonna be such a Sony thing to do, and it's gonna piss me off, bro, because that actually substantiated some people to like what happens at Sony for at least a little bit. They're like, yo, shoot, this might be the introduction to Venom in the MCU, because no symbiote and da. Like, yo, they might have actually did something great for a change with Venom, and it just might not happen because they're trying to cover that plot point. I don't know. It's some real Sony shit, bro. That is some typical Sony shit. I ain't gonna lie. If that's true, I hope it's not, but it'll be funny. All right, moving on to the last piece of the trailer trove here. Let's talk about it. When I know you've seen it. I know you saw it. Let's talk about Like a Dragon Yakuza, the live action series. It is coming to Amazon in October of this year. We already have, you know, some of the casting down, some of the pieces of it down. It's going to be set in 2 time periods, both 1995 and 2005. It's going to be in 6 parts, 6 episodes. They're going to be split into 2 halves. So 3 episodes will launch on October 25th, and the other half will come in next week on October 1st. Yeah, set in Kamurocho. Go ahead, Kamurocho. Yeah,
Kamurocho. Yeah,
Kamurocho. And yeah, listen, when you are the foremost Like a Dragon expert here, how are you feeling about what we potentially might get in this live action series?
Feeling pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. And it's been a while since I played the first Like a Dragon games. I believe at the end of Yakuza 0, Kiryu goes to jail. No, it's at the beginning of Yakuza Kiwami 1. Kiryu goes to jail for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's the big time skip. I think this is gonna be really fucking cool. I think if they know how to do this right, I think it can be done really, really well. I think the Like a Dragon games, if you played any of them, you know they're basically like fucking anime with how ridiculous and over the top and dramatic and shit is. It's an amazing ride. I cannot wait to see what, like, I just need to watch it. I don't really even want to dig too deep into it. I'm gonna try to let them cook. They did really good with Fallout. I saw that they understood the story for Fallout very well. Like they understood how like it can be gory, it can be silly, it can be suspenseful, it can be scary. They did a really good job encapsulating that world. Right now, Amazon has been on a pretty good run when it comes to adapting shit. Invincible, The Boys, like they haven't really been missing too often with their shows. So I'm gonna go in this with the most optimism you can. 6 episodes, amazing number. I love 6. 8 is what I look for. 12, you gotta wow me. You gotta really like that. But 6, this shit sounds like a movie. This shit sounds like every minute is gonna be important. It sounds like every moment is gonna be impactful. I just hope that with those 6 episodes, they can capture some of the wackiness that is Like a Dragon. Like, will Kiryu walk into like a group of 6 grown men in diapers pretending to be babies? Is he gonna walk into that? I don't know, because we may not have enough time for that. But that's a moment that a lot of Yakuza fans will know. It's like, yo, that's where we were all like, what the fuck? Like, there's so many bananas ass moments in this franchise that I would love to see on the big screen. But I'm gonna let them cook, because this is something that, again, like, I feel like, why hasn't this ever been a thing? I'm happy to see like more more franchises that have potential to be important and mainstream being in the limelight. Like, I'm happy Warhammer's getting more love. I'm happy Like a Dragon is getting more love. Like, this is amazing. And honestly, I cannot wait for this. I absolutely cannot wait for this. If you're listening and you got Game Pass, all of the Like a Dragon games are on Game Pass except for Infinite Wealth. But if you could play through every single one of the Like a Dragon games and get to the point where you need to play Infinite Wealth, I'm pretty sure by the time you get to that point in your life, it would probably be on Game Pass at that point. Like, this is a franchise that I think everybody should really look into, because it has gone unnoticed for far too long.
Yeah. Everything I've seen of Yakuza, again, from playing maybe a couple of the early ones from ages ago, I never played any of the new ones yet. It is such a varied experience. It encapsulates so much, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be the tragedy, the violence, the rage, the humor, the wackiness. Like a Dragon covers a lot of ground, emotionally, thematically. There's so much shit to cover, and I hope in these 6 episodes that they can capture a lot of that. What makes like a dragon, you know what I mean? Like, I hope they can really nail that theme down. You know, it seems like they're following that track of more, again, like I was say Kiryu and his story before everything really kicks off. Maybe they might, you know what I'm saying, segue it down to I about to say, what's my man's name? I forgot my man's name. So, yeah, no, not Majima, no, not Goro Majima.
Ichiban?
Yeah, Ichiban. Yeah, maybe they might leave a little seed for Ichiban at the end of the series and stuff like that. Who knows? But
there's so much to go through to get to that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I would love that too. I would love that too.
But there's so much room to work with here. I'm just hoping that the spirit of it, again, the spirit of it is fully captured in what you can get into with that series. So very interested. All right, let's switch down to the last few stories of the show here. Let's talk about George Miller. And after a pretty interesting weekend, opening weekend and such with Furiosa, Mad Max Saga, the prequel, there was some thoughts about his interest and his you know what I'm saying, will, if his will be done. He would love a Kojima Mad Max game, but he also thought that the 2015 version wasn't as good as he wanted it to be. And you know, he had some quotes about how he loved, you know, Kojima's style, his vision. He'd love for him to get involved with the project and you know, make something of his own. But you know, he said he never asked him to make it, you know, outside of that. So there's a lot of things to dissect in his quotes and what the messages were. How do you feel about his response to, you know, just how the 2015 version fared and Kojima?
Yo, that's nasty as shit to say about that game. Being like, that shit was kind of ass. That's crazy, brother. That game wasn't even that bad. That game was pretty
underrated. That game was fire. That game was fire. I'm mad I didn't buy it day one. Honestly, I got it for free on one of these game stores or something like that, like a couple years later. Literal gas.
A really good game. I'd have been mad as fuck if my man said that shit to like, my man George Miller. Hey, what you know about games, George Miller? Let's talk. What you know?
I like some of the Mad Maxes. You know what I mean?
Like some of the movies. What you know about open world? Nah, I mean, like, hey, teach their own his opinion. I mean, it's his franchise.
Yeah,
I'm
literally.
sure he's just I think it's genuinely just like, because the more I thought about this, I remember seeing this, the more I thought about this, the more I could see Kojima really cooking. Space. But I don't know if it would be the same, because like what I loved about the Mad Max game was just the gameplay was really fun. It was tight, it was fun, driving around was cool. It still had the same like open world, go here to fucking hot air balloon and look around that like gets tired now, like the Ubisoft let's climb the tower to figure out what's around us type shit. That trope wasn't overdone at that point, so it was just like still cool, whatever. But like, I could see why he would want a Kojima game more than he got the conventional good, because it's not a bad video game whatsoever than what he got with the 2015 game. Because I could see like Kojima doing something as like fucking a giant whale surfacing from the sands, and then in my mind I'm like, well, how would you fit a Kojima world in a Mad Max world, because you can't have crazy ass set pieces, but with the lack of water, you really could. Like, you really could have crazy ass set pieces with just fucking dehydration and motherfuckers hallucinating. And just the world of Mad Max is fucking bananas in and of itself. Like, going back and thinking about the first Mad Max, I haven't seen Furiosa yet. Like, the crazy ass cars that are there, the crazy ass like people that have survived this apocalypse. Like, I think Kojima would do a really good job. I mean, I knew Kojima could do a really good job with this, period. But I was just more so upset about like not fucking with the 2015 game, because I don't think that game was bad, but I do think maybe George Miller just saw it as like not ambitious enough. But I also think that in a world in 2015, making a game about a movie franchise, we were in the world of like movie franchise games were pretty dead at that point. Like, we were not in a good place for that type of shit.
Facts.
Had this been PS2 era, go crazy. But I can't even imagine how much money they even gave that team to make that 2015 Mad Max game, because I can't imagine them being like, yeah, man, this is gonna sell like hotcakes. Like, it was just like, I don't know. But I see where you're saying, but that game was pretty good. I want to reiterate, that game was pretty good. But a Kojima Mad Max game, I'll take 7 copies, please and thank you,
bro. And this is my thing, bro. Like, again, it was gas. It was a team behind Just Cause, and I think they did such a fantastic job to ground this game. And honestly, literally half of this game is what went into Rage 2 at this point. You know what I mean? At least what they built into, but went into Rage 2, and Rage 2 was just stole half the steez off of that. At least the feeling of it sometimes, with maybe some splash of pinks and stuff like that. But whatever, I digress. I find it funny that George Miller said that, only because on the same day that Mad Max dropped in 2015, September 1st, the Phantom Pain dropped the same exact day. Metal Gear Solid 5 dropped the exact same day. So you could say that Kojima is the reason why it wasn't as good as you thought it'd be, at least performance wise, at least sales wise. It got buried under that entire game, and under one of the most anticipated games of 2015, of the past few years, in that sense, because people were waiting on a brand new Metal Gear Solid. So you could say Kojima ruined that for you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could say this is a way to get you back. You know what I'm saying? You kind of messed up my game release, Kojima. Hideo, my guy.
This is actually all one big ass fucking plot to secure the Mad Max licensing. That's really what it was. He's like, yo, I know when I'm gonna drop MGM, Metal Gear Solid. I know how I'm gonna fuck their sales over. So when I ask for the license, they're gonna be like, well, he did cook that one year. Like, it's all a big master plan. And
he gonna snatch it back and give him to him and say, listen, you owe me. You fucked up that game for a reason. You owe me. All right? Oh, man. But I just found it funny. But yeah, no, 100%. Kojima will cook on a Mad Max. That's no question. That is no question. He would absolutely demolish a Mad Max IP just to make something like super, super dope. 100. All right, moving on here. Let's talk about Naughty Dog. So we've heard some words that they are, really trying to push forward. Neil Druckmann has said that Naughty Dog has numerous games in development, including multiple single-player projects. And there's a quote here from the LA Times that is very, very focused on them saying, "I promise you, we will not be the Last of Us studio forever." How do you feel about this?
Man, go make some Last of Us game. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's crazy. Shut up and Last of Us, baby. Shut up and
Last of Us.
That's insane. That's insane work.
No, I mean, sure. I want you to prove it, not tell me about it, but go crazy. I believe y'all. I don't think y'all are lying to me, but y'all haven't really. I want to see something different. Show me some cool shit, bro, because it's just been Uncharted and Last of Us for the past couple of years. People have been asking for Jack and Daxter, but that's not gonna happen. So,
nope.
Show us some cool shit. You throw some Jack. You want us to think you Naughty Dog? Put out a Jack and Daxter game. We go. I'll promise you. I'll believe you. But if you're gonna show me white man with pistol for the 4th time, I'm gonna be bored. I'm gonna be like, yo, dog, it's the same shit.
Nah, I hear it. Yeah, this is my thing. I'm like, you guys have multiple single player projects there. Good, great. When can we see them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just need to. I just want to get to something new. I know for a fact that you guys already have Last of Us Part 3 in the tuck. That's probably going to be either the next thing we see or the thing after the next thing that we see. It's one of the two. So, are you prepared to really take that jump and do something wildly different? Now, is it going to be very much like they're going to try and keep their gripping narrative and stuff like that? There? Probably. I don't know how far of a leap they're gonna take from their, with their next single player projects. I don't know, but I just hope that this mentality does stay through and they're not pulled in the direction of, they're giving us creative license to do new things, but then the last 6 games you drop is like Uncharted, Last of Us, Uncharted, Last of Us, Uncharted, Last of Us. I don't want you to say these things and then Sony put you back into the corner of, nah, we need more IP. We need you to keep making these things to help us get these sales going, to help keep these sales going up. Last of Us HBO season 4 is just dropped. I need you to make a new game so we could get some new source material to drop off of. You know what I mean? I don't want to be back into a corner off of these quotes. And you know what I'm saying, considering the past week and change with people faking quotes entirely, I just hope, you know what I'm saying, that we can find some truth, some veracity in this shit, and we can move to new things down the line. You know what I'm saying? Some things just we deserve to let lie. At this point, I think Last of Us should be left to sit and grow and just have more appreciation for without new entries, unless it's multiplayer factions, of which you guys canceled that or put it on ice or whatever y'all did. So that's dead. I'm still mad about that. I'm sorry, but yeah, let's get to new things, man. Let's get to new things. All right, let's switch gears and talk about PlayStation. All right, now sorry for that gap. PlayStation was in the news as well, with in addition to their state of plays and stuff like that. We had a lot of new information about their PC strategy, what the brand new CEOs were talking about in terms of their approach, what they want to do. Mr. Nishino and Herman Holst just talking about a couple of different points here, including them seeing PC releases as opportunity for growth and not necessarily competition and cannibalization of their sales. They want to extend the reach of their profit to multi-platform delivery systems. They want to outsource more development. Important notes here that they wanted live service titles to be day and date on PC, but more of their single player titles will be more strategic, aka they're going to hold them back. And they wanted to take more measured approaches in growing their mobile as opposed to PC. They're doing their thing here. One of the most important things to note from this interview, this set of questioning, is the kind of sentiment that PlayStation holds, that while they want to grow on PC, they still have that little twinkle in their eye to have certain things held back so that PC gamers can buy a PlayStation 5 to play these exclusives, to hopefully jump into the PlayStation ecosystem and buy a console so they can get their hands on these PlayStation exclusives earlier or on the same day that they release. So when this conversation has come in many forms over the years, but it seems that it's reared its head again. Sony wants PC gamers to buy consoles to get in on these exclusives. How do you feel?
I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Everybody who I talk to who has played Spider-Man on the PC, who has played God of War on the PC, even when they make the announcements of God of War Ragnarok, my friends were literally like, oh, sick, I can play that game whenever it drops. And it's like, yeah, are you copping it? Are you copping a PS5? It's like, no, why would I want to do that? There's just no reason to buy a PlayStation 5 when you have a PC, because it's a stationary console experience. And it's like, oh man, I can go from sitting at my desk to playing this game to sitting on my couch and playing this game. They don't really care that much. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, with the introduction of the Steam Deck, I'm going to use the PC games. I'm going to play them on my couch too. Mm-hmm. Like, they're going to spend $600 on a Steam Deck before they spend $600 on a PlayStation 5. It's just facts. Yep. I'm not going to turn on my TV, put on input 1, load up the PlayStation 5 to boot up God of War Ragnarok, where if I want to play PlayStation, I'm going to play that shit on my couch. If I want to play God of War, I'm going to play that shit on my couch with my girlfriend while she's watching whatever the fuck, and I'm playing it on the Steam Deck. Like, there's just no... That ecosystem is pretty much dead. You're not competing with Xbox. You're competing with Xbox and PC. Like, this PlayStation, like, you need to understand that. Now, doing time releases, I think, is completely fine. I think it's an okay... I think there is a group of people like myself who will buy a PlayStation 5 and a PC because I want to play God of War day one, right? Like, there are those people. But I don't think that, like, you're going to be able to get people who are only PC gamers to buy a PlayStation 5. It's just not worth it to them in their eyes. They'd rather just wait. There's so many games on PC. They could play all the Far Cries, and by the time your game comes out, they'll be like, okay, cool, I have something to play now. That being said, I think games like Concord releasing on PC at the same time as PS5 is a really smart move. Genuinely speaking, I think any shooter is just going to do better when you put it on PC as well, because I think that's where a lot of the fans of shooters stay at. Like, if you're a fan of, like, I feel like most people have decided that if I'm going to play a shooter, I need to be on PC if I want to play it the best way, especially with crossplay becoming more and more popular. Getting smoked by somebody on PC because he can actually aim better than you, I'm sure has changed a lot of people's opinions on whether they want to be a PC gamer or not. So multiplayer games, like, yeah, you have to release them, because multiplayer games thrive on people playing them. And if you're trying to do a timed release, your multiplayer game will be dead by the time you decide to do it on PC. So that part I agree with, but single player, it doesn't really matter. I think what they're doing now is fine, because I think it gives a lot of people who have a PS5 or who don't want to wait an extra year to get God of War will buy a PS5. But I don't think that, if they believe that this is going to be the biggest push, a lot of people are just really willing to wait. They don't really care that much. Yeah,
they're barking up the wrong tree. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. You're talking to the most patient people in the game. You're talking to some of the most like if the PC gamers were a people, and if we could categorize people as geographic, PC players are French people. We're gonna revolt for damn near anything. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna sit up here and take this. We gonna hit a strike. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna run into something very, very like quickly. You're gonna run into resistance very, very easily. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, as much as PlayStation wants this, and there will be a section of players, like even myself, I have a PlayStation 5 and I have a PC. That's all I have, because I can access Xbox stuff on there. I can access my PS5 stuff and the exclusives when I want to play them on, you know, or day one or whatever. And I have my PC for everything else, and I have no complaints. And I have my Switch, and I'm probably gonna get a Steam Deck. Like that's my environment. But there are some people who are just not gonna budge. Epic Games has tried for years to get everybody on their launchers with free games, with cuts and all stuff like that, and the majority of the PC market still is like, I don't know, you know, maybe I think I'll stay. I'm good for now. They've denied, you know what I'm saying, Epic Games is still trying to make up ground as a viable launcher, and that's the next biggest one that's giving free games like every week. You know what I mean? Who's to say that for every other launcher that's out there they don't want to download that crap? Well, it makes you think that they want to jump the gun in droves, and you're gonna eventually trying to push them in droves to get a console when they've been so patient waiting 3, 4, 5 years for a PlayStation title to hit PC markets. Now they're in a regular cadence. You put them only closer to what they want in a reasonable format, that they're gonna just automatically drop what they're doing and get consoles for certain things. Some may, a few may, but if you're expecting the majority or a significant portion of your PC market to just automatically start copping consoles because you're kind of withholding those dates, nah. I got bad news for you, bro. It's not happening. You're dealing with some of the most patient, some of the most vocal, some of the most very, very swift acting and fast deciding people in the gaming space. PC players don't play about that shit. So that, I think, it's just an uphill battle that they won't really ever get over. You know what I'm saying? Because so many have tried, so many have failed with much smaller financial asks for people. Literally, just download this launcher for free. Nah, we're good on Steam. We're okay, buddy. Thanks, but no thanks. That's what PC players been doing for years. So I just find it interesting that they're trying to continue to push that, and they're gonna try and find their ways, man. They're gonna try and find their ways to get people registered and logged and get PC players into the ecosystem, but I just don't think pushing the issue that way and kind of still dangling the carrot around their face is going to, it's not going to accelerate anything for them. I think it's just going to hold as they've always been. You know, we get more multiplayer releases, and you know your environments are going to be sustained for that much longer. Your multiplayer environments, your multiplayer games, your servers are going to have that much more shelf life because you've brought them on PC where they stay a much longer time than on console. But single player, we'll just wait for it. Simple as.
Yeah. I also think it's something like to really be said that like there's one easy button that you can press that would change the game for PlayStation players on PC. Mm-hmm. And that would literally just allow for, if I buy a game on PC or if I buy a game on PlayStation, I should say, to let me have it on PC. Like if you were to do that kind of thing, like on your launcher, like, hey, you bought it here, well, guess what? If it's on the PC launcher, if it's on the PSN PC launcher, you also get that game for free. True. Because you already bought it. Like that would change the industry. Mm-hmm. But we know it's never gonna happen because they can't charge us twice for games. Mm-hmm. And they
want you to buy that hardware too. They want you to buy that hardware.
They want you to buy the hardware. But if I'm letting y'all know that right there would fucking eviscerate Game Pass. It would evaporate in a second because I would buy the PSN and then I would only buy games there because I know I have it on both consoles. Yeah. But y'all go crazy.
Yeah. Hey man, everybody has their way going about things, but again, pushing the PC market, you're talking to a brick wall, buddy. You're talking to a brick wall. All right, let's move on to the last story here. It's not so much a story as just, just a quick a glimpse of what's ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the midst of showcase season. It's formerly known as E3 season. It's all this stuff, and there's a crap ton of showcases and things that are going to be on the way over the next couple of days. Just want to run through the list real quick of just quick expectations of things we might want to see. Just some things here. The Guerrilla Collective, yeah, that's pretty cool. Summer Game Fest on the 7th is probably the big first pit stop of this week past the state of play that happened a few days ago. We had some quick updates. Apparently there's not going to be any Kingdom Hearts 4 at the Summer Game Fest. Boo! Sorry, that's just my impulse. Sorry guys. But just for the expectations of Summer Game Fest, how are you feeling about going into that? Some of the notes, Jeff saying, hey, it's a little bit lighter. gauge your expectations, lower them a little bit, buddy. How do you feel about Summer Game Fest?
If it's a little bit lighter, there's no reason. I think the Summer Games Fest kickoff might be 2 hours long. If that shit's light, it shouldn't be 2 hours long. I could be wrong, and I hope I am, because 2 hours of light is fucking egregious. But that being said, I am looking for the looking forward to Guerrilla Collective. Guerrilla Collective is where I find a lot of the indie games that I like that end up like kind of blowing up. There's some really good heat in the Guerrilla Collective showcase. IGN Live, I probably gonna skip that. Summer Games Fest, I'm gonna see if I'm able to watch that. Devolver Direct is gonna be a short film with game announcements in the middle of it. I'm looking for a Plucky Squire release date, but I wouldn't be surprised if I get like a.
We need that.
If I get a fucking noir film for 30 minutes with random games thrown in, but I'm looking for a lot of release dates because like Angerfoot, Skate Story, Plucky Squire, like they have like quite literally fucking omega levels of heat with no release dates, just vibes.
Where the fuck is Replaced, and which showcase is gonna tell me when the exact date is? Because I saw it's coming in 2024. I saw it.
I feel like that's gonna be Xbox. It's gotta be Xbox.
Give me, whoever gives me the date, you get a cookie. There's like 18 of y'all. Like, come on.
Yeah, but like every showcase of like the Future of Play Direct looks good, wholesome games, Black Voices in Game, like all these, I think they're all worth watching, genuinely speaking. The only ones that I think are like pretty much a snooze fest, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Direct, sure. PC Game Show.
Yeah.
The problem I ever had with PC Game Show is that it's always very long.
It's so long. I listen, respect to the people who be doing those, bruh. Shout out to Danny and all those folks like that, bro. Like, dog, it's so long and it be killing me, bro. It be killing me.
I wait for it to come out and I'll be scrubbing through the 7-hour showcase. I'll be scrubbing through it. I'll be like, no. Oh, cool. And then I'll be like, all right, no. But the thing I know, but here's the reason I always go through this PC game show is like, if there's ever a place where they're gonna announce a Warhammer real-time strategy game, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a PC game show. So I always have to make my due diligence of going through, because I'll be damned if I miss it. But Ubisoft Forward is more like Ubisoft Fast Forward, because I can't imagine I'm gonna be watching that shit the whole way through. They're gonna go off Assassin's Creed Shadows, I believe it's called Shadows, right?
What's it called? Oh, new AC? Yeah, Shadows.
Yeah, the newest. Yeah, like I'm gonna watch that. But that's pretty much it. Maybe they'll show a Far Cry 7.
Where the fuck is Splinter Cell? If we don't see no Splinter Cell shit, I'm gonna punch somebody. Oh my goodness. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. All right, let me stop. I don't wanna simulate any violence here. All right, this is a non-violent area. But if my little brother who's in the other room somehow goes to sleep before his bedtime, you know what I'm saying? Just a little behind the, you know what I'm saying? Just a little. You know what I'm saying? Batman takedown. It's Ubisoft's fault. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hold my breath for a new Rayman.
Yeah, they did, man. I'm about to say, see you in Neverwhere, brother.
Yeah. But I think it's gonna be a pretty solid showcase. I think it's gonna be a lot of. I'm expecting a lot of. Oh man, I miss E3. When like, it is what it is at this point. Like there will always be like, all right, boomer. I do think that this is going to be an interesting showcase. I know there's got to be something in here, right? Like there's got to be some kind of heat. But with all the things that are being shown, it's like, oh man, it's so difficult. Latin American Game Showcase is also going to be there too. That one, I remember seeing a bunch of good shit for that. Oh my God, there's like a mariachi game. Oh my God, I cannot remember, but I think it's like a Metroidvania. Yeah, like I think it's gonna be really big for indies. Major AAA titles though, I think we're not gonna see too many of those.
Yeah, nah.
I think if you're looking for big AAA, I think your best bet is gonna be Xbox Showcase. I think that's gonna be the big. If you're looking for big box shit, Xbox Showcase, maybe Ubisoft. I think Summer Games Fest might be focusing more on the smaller indie developers, but I could be wrong. I swear to God, if I get in there and you show me another fucking like Medal of Honor VR game where like that shit was so fucking annoying.
Hey,
if I see a movie trailer, if I see more than one movie, I don't want to see any movie trailers. I don't want to see any of that fucking shit. Don't show me no movie trailers. I think
we gotta do an offshoot video of just like the do's and don'ts of these showcases, bro. If you show me some stupid ass movie trailer during a game showcase, you're out. You know what I mean? We need to get to red flags.
I don't want to see that. Like I don't want to see I don't want to see VR. I know VR. I'm not gonna hold you. To me, VR and mobile games are in the same space of gaming. Super niche and needs its own fucking showcase and shit for it. Because if you're gonna argue to me that I need to see VR, even though I gotta pay $600 to get into this niche subgenre, then we should be showing trailers for mobile games too. Because there's a bigger chance I'm gonna play that shit than a VR game. There's a way bigger chance I'm gonna do that. But if we're gonna be showing these niche ass fucking genres, we might as well show all the niche genres.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I heard there was a rumor about the Xbox showcase about how they might shadow drop another game, which, you know, unfortunately we saw that ended up last time. Fantastic game, but you know, the fate of that shit was bullshit. But they said they might be teasing Xbox Portable. They might be teasing some of the mobile capabilities that they you know, could be in the works on, could be not working on, maybe allegedly, I don't know. But if there is a tease about Xbox Portable, that could be huge. I feel like that's going to inform a lot of different things this year, which I personally think I think they are going to try it, not necessarily at the showcase, but sometime soon I feel like we'll hear something about some type of mobile components, whether it be their mobile game store, their mobile something, because PlayStation's already been working on some of their like mobile titles and stuff heavily. I think we're going to hear either this year or next a lot about the major companies' mobile capabilities and mobile plans. Specifically Xbox and PlayStation. Switch, I mean, they're kind of already handheld mobile. They just do their own thing. They don't really care. But Xbox and PlayStation specifically, I think they're really going to try and lean into that stuff. Who knows? We might see, again, a full-on like a handheld component for a console, and then PlayStation might bring back a Vita or a PSP 2 or some shit like that. I think that there's a non-zero, a decent chance. I would say 34% chance we'll see something about a mobile component at the showcase on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be interesting to see. The only thing I would really want Xbox to drop that would really like fucking blow me away is that they're like, yo, Doom 3, or like, yo, new Wolfenstein, like some shit like that. Heat. Other than that,
Yeah.
like, man, I can't think of a game that they would drop that I'd be like, whoa, I need to boot this bitch up right now.
I want to see South of Midnight gameplay. We need that.
Oh yes. There's a lot of shit that they announced last year that they just like didn't follow up on for a while.
That's what I'm saying. I think this
Avowed, I think also might need a smidge more showing.
Avowed dropping this year. We need to see a full on. You know what I'm saying? We need some more. We need some more.
It's supposed to drop this summer. Actually, it's supposed to be dropping soon. Like I think August. No.
Yeah, we might need a fully. You know what I'm saying? We might need a fully loaded like shebang bang. You know what I'm saying? I know we got some initial gameplay, but we need some you in the wild deep systems and stuff. We need to see what's going down. Like that.
I want to see somebody playing it. That's what I want. I want to see somebody like, yo, I booted this up. Here's Randy. Randy's over here. He has an Xbox controller. We're gonna see Randy do it, and then they do that awkward. But I don't need that shit to be too long. I just need Randy to be like, I just saved this village of orcs, and now I'm going to walk over here.
Yeah.
Whoa! Like I mean, like do that for like 10 minutes, but don't fucking waste my life like the Destiny trailers.
Yeah.
Like, I got it.
No, facts. But yeah, I think Xbox actually has a lot to show in terms of stuff that's coming this year and some of their forward-facing titles for next year and then the year after that. This could be a chance for them to get ahead of it. We've already talked about this on a previous video. If you're listening to this episode, go check out a previous episode, like why the Xbox Game Showcase must deliver. I think that was that video. Go check it out. That we kind of lay down all the stuff there. But yeah, I think they have a good amount to show of like what's immediately in the pipeline and what's like, you know, down the line. Would love some Perfect Dark gameplay, but I know that game's in a dog shit state. I burn Sage every day for that game. When I don't know if you know, I burn Sage for it every day. Fuck you know, but we'll see. But yeah, showcase season should be pretty interesting. We're gonna try and cover as much as we possibly can with trailers, reactions, all that good stuff, and of course the usual episode breakdowns. Yeah, and we'll get to it, man. We'll get to interesting stuff. But that's all I got on the notes today, gang. First episode back. Did we miss anything? Anything that we might have missed out
on? Not that I can think of, to be honest.
Not that I know of either. I ain't gonna know. What am I doing? Nope. This is a brand new Alien trailer. Alien Romulus and stuff like that. I gotta go watch that later. But it's spooky shit, which I will not be talking about at length, or else I'm gonna get PTSD and scared out of my fucking mind. But with that being said, let's roll this on out of here. Let's close it out. Give me your closing notes. Episode 95 of No Cooldown Podcast, man.
Drink your water, enjoy your games, be optimistic walking into these showcases, because 2025 is such a stacked year. There's no possible way that this year is going to be a crazy showcase. There's just no space realistically for that. And Wagwan your Delilahs.
Oh my gosh. I hate you so much. I hate him so much. Why did he mention that, bro? I just got it out of my head. Get out of me head. Get out of me head. Yo, oh my gosh, what a piece of crap. Anyways, make sure you go show us some love, man. Make sure you stay tuned during showcase season, man. We're gonna try and either be live, have reactions within the first like 5 minutes of stuff dropping. We're going to be on job this showcase season throughout the summer. Guests is coming through, new content, new stuff to look at, man. No cooldown ain't going no damn where. We back in full flow. All right, so make sure you go keep checking out the content, checking out the channel and stuff. Subscribe if you haven't. Like, share, comment, all that good stuff. Rate the podcast 5 stars if you have not been on our audio podcast platforms yet, and we will see you all soon. This has been No Cooldown Podcast, episode 95. We appreciate y'all. I've been that man Tripp. That has been Win Easy, and we are oh, it's what you do to me. Okay, out of here. Bye. It's in my head.